What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 4FP81. The end of the Golden City. Gudong, Tezzolo swallowed a mouthful of saliva, trying to calm down. Although I don't know where you got the news, the lion fruit is indeed here with me, but this is what the world government wants. How can I explain to the world government if I give it to you? When he heard that it was world government, Yake snorted. The world government still wanted to use lion fruit's ability to gain air-to-air capabilities. Fortunately, Yake rushed over as soon as he heard the news. World government? I'm here, so I can't go back empty-handed. You'd better leave it to me, so you don't have to suffer a little. Yaksora's aura spewed out, and all the tourists in the venue fell down. The only person who can stand is Tezzolo. Tezzolo barely resisted Yake's conqueror's impact, his face twisted. Yake was definitely the strongest opponent he had ever seen, but his own fate would not be much better if he didn't hand over the lion fruit to the world government. He used to think that using money was power, but it was a joke in front of absolute strength. Enough, lion fruit is here, take it. After weighing again and again, Tezzolo still hesitated. Yake is not the kind of little person who can be manipulated by him. Seeing that Yake is like this, he will never give up until he gets what he wants. Maybe he really will die. World government can be bought with money, but Yake is not necessarily. Tezzolo took out an exquisite box, and a white devil fruit was quietly lying in the center of the box. The fruit was covered with cloud-like patterns, which seemed to have a light feeling. Yake flickered and moved, and took the box into his hand. Although he didn't know if it was true or not, if Tezzolo dared to lie to himself, he would be greeted with the wrath of God. Yake put the box in the storage bar with satisfaction, and he was in a good mood. This time I came to the Golden City. I really made a fortune. Not only did I successfully get the lion fruit, but I also recruited a strong man like Xiao Xiao. Drago is really my lucky star. Ha ha ha, Tezzolo, you're smart, I'll go first. I wish you a prosperous business. Yake left triumphantly, leaving a mess. He likes Tezzolo's disgusting look and can't help him look. Tezzolo gritted his teeth with hatred, and thought of fighting Yake countless times in his heart, but he still gave up. He is only a businessman after all, and it is not good for him to start a conflict with Yake. What a b asterisk 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 d. Tezzolo cursed secretly, and hurriedly found someone to clean up the mess. Advertisement. After Yake got the lion fruit, he came to the place where he met Yixiao again. Your Excellency Yake, you are here. It seems that your work has been completed. Yixiao just noticed the powerful aura above his head, which can only be possessed by the person in front of him. Ha ha ha, Mr. Yixiao, thanks to you, everything is going well. Next, we should leave. Come and see my country with me, Mr. Yixiao. Then it's better to be respectful than obedient. Yixiao stood up and left with Yake. Yixiao's gravity fruit ability can fly, but it can't fly for a long time, because it can't confirm the direction. The battle is okay, but the travel is not. But Yake has many ways to take out a floating boat, which is more than enough for 2 people. Are they gone? Are you sure? Tezzolo was relieved after repeatedly confirming that Yake, the god of plague, had left. Yake came here, and he lost at least tens of billions. Now I have a headache how to explain to the world government. This time I will spend a lot of money to clear the way. The appetite of the world government is scary. Although the speed of the airship is not as fast as the speed of Yake's elemental flight, it will not take long to return to the paradise from New World. It didn't take long for Yake to return to the kingdom of the sky with a smile. Mr. Yixiao, welcome to my country. Yake opened his hands and grinned. The people here are laughing and having fun, and they can't feel the filth of other towns at all. Only when they smile can they know that what Yake said is true. Although he can't see it, he can feel the hope here. It's such a nice place, Lord Yake. The old man wants to stroll here alone. Really? Well, the land here is quite soft. Mr. Yixiao paid more attention. Yake doesn't care either. He is very confident in his governance. Although it is not perfect, it has surpassed 99% of the countries in the world. It is good to let him feel it. Yake didn't say any more, and went straight back to Shenzhou. With a smile, he walked into Angel Island, tested the ground with a stick knife, and finally understood what Yake meant. It was soft everywhere, and it was quite inconvenient for a blind person to move. Advertisement. Uncle, is this the first time you have come to God of the Sky Kingdom? Do you need my help? Konus, who had just finished class, also saw the smile of this non-stop poking Dao Yun with his cane, and hurried over to ask for a smile. Thank you, little girl, I really need help. She smiled a little awkwardly, and was slapped in the face when she just said that she was shopping alone. Tilda, I'm sorry, I lost my composure. Uncle, have you been seriously injured? Konus was taken aback when he saw the smiling face. The hideous scars and white eyeballs are indeed a bit bluffing, but Konus is he soon calmed down, but smiled worriedly. Ha ha ha, little girl, it's been a long time, take me to visit this island, please. It's okay, uncle, I'm Konus, what's your name? Konus smiled and acted as the guide. My name is Yixiao, Konus. What a nice name. Smile was also gradually moved by the lively and cheerful Konus, and I was in a very happy mood. I went to visit Angel Island with Konus. It was getting dark, and Konus had to say goodbye to Yixiao. Uncle Yixiao, I'm going home, otherwise Dad will be worried, see you tomorrow. Konus waved and smiled goodbye, and in a blink of an eye he was alone. Although it was only a few hours, Yixiao also fell in love with this warm-hearted little girl. This city is completely different from the places he has been to, and he has a better understanding of Yake's experience in the kingdom of God in the sky. Gradually, he felt that following Yake seemed to be a good choice, if the world could become the same as here. Mr. Yishao, the captain asked me to pick you up for the dinner, come with me. Reiju descended from the sky and invited Yishao to go to Shenzhou. She couldn't help but look at the new crew members that Yake said would also be their deputy captain, naturally a little curious. He is very strong, definitely not the aura that an ordinary blind person should have, just like a tiger, Reiju thought silently. Thank you, little girl, the old man is just a little hungry. 82. Lion Fruit Ownership God Dwelling. Let me introduce to everyone. This is Mr. Yishao, our new partner. Although he is blind, he is very powerful. There are new members joining. According to the usual practice, Yake still needs to call all the crew members to get to know each other. Hi, Mr. Yishao, I'm Nico Robin, a historian. Although Robin didn't know where Yake got a crew member, from Yake's point of view, this uncle's character and strength are at least not too bad. First of all, he expressed his goodwill to Yishao. After Robin introduced himself, other people also introduced themselves one after another. The atmosphere of the Ark Pirates was good. No one ignored this new uncle, but joining with a smile undoubtedly raised the average age of the pirates by several years. Mr. Yishao, our Ark Pirates are all young people. Please take care of them in the future. You are older than us. It is not good to call you by your first name. I see that, Mr. Yishao always wears a purple kimono. How about using Fujitora as a nickname? Yake is not used to always laughing. The name Fujitora is more hockey, and also seems cold, but this name is also a title after joining Marine and becoming Admiral. Fujitora. It's a good title, it's very suitable for me, so everyone will call me Fujitora from now on. Fujitora smiled. Fujitora smiled and was very satisfied with the name, as if it belonged to him by nature. Let's drink a toast to Mr. Fujitora joining our pirate team. Cheers. After the meal, a group of people chatted with each other. Fujitora and Fanoka unexpectedly got along very well, but the conversation between them made Yake confused and unable to understand. Looking at the kitten Anna playing with Perona, Yake suddenly remembered that the lion fruit hadn't been given to her yet. Advertisement. Anna, this is the devil fruit I specially prepared for you. This is the ability of the legendary great pirate Golden Lion. It suits you very well. Don't you always want to fly? Eat it and you will have the ability to fly. Yake opened the exquisite box, revealing the white devil fruit inside, and the room suddenly fell silent. Golden Lion. I met him once when I was young. At that time, he was already a big pirate who dominated the party. It's a pity. Fujitora seemed to be lost in memory. Great, Yaksama. Can this really make me fly? Then I won't be polite? Ah tilde? Anna unceremoniously took the lion fruit into her hand and bit it off. As a kitten, Anna's biggest dream is to fly and find all blue. Now the opportunity to realize her dream is in front of her eyes. Of course, Anna will not let it go, and if this is the ability that the big pirate once possessed, she will become even stronger. Strong, this will help the captain. You tilde oh, ah, why is it so unpalatable? Yaksama, this taste is too unpalatable. Anna can't stand meow. As a chef, Anna has a very keen sense of taste. Devil fruits, the taste was really indescribable. Anna's expression looked quite painful, her little face was huddled together. Ha ha ha, Anna, thinking back then, Captain, I ate all the devil fruit in one go, that's why I'm so strong. Yake winked at Anna. Devil fruit only needs to eat one bite to gain strength. It's just too stupid to be bored. Now others eat it. Can deceive anyone. Ah tilde. Anna fought meow. Anna stared bitterly at the remaining lion fruit, put on the pain mask in advance, and Lahua ate the remaining devil fruit with rain. Seeing that Anna ate all of them stupidly, Yake's shoulders shook, and he couldn't hold back anymore, laughing loudly. Ha 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 ha, Anna, I lied to you, just take a bite. Oh, you are really. Ah tilde ah. I am the captain, don't scratch my face, I rely on my appearance for a living. Yake's ruthless ridicule roused Anna's anger, and the sharp nails popped out and fell on Yake's face and scratched him, but no one helped. Yake deserved what he deserved, it was too bad. Fujitora was embarrassed standing aside. He really didn't expect that Yake, who was so handsome when he first met, would look like this in private. He wondered if he got on the wrong boat. I'm sorry, Anna, I was wrong, look, you flew up. Yake tried to protect his face, and quickly diverted Anna's attention. His hair was almost scratched off by Anna. Yake expressed great heartache. Advertisement, hey. Really, Sister Perona, look, I can fly just like you, that's great meow. Anna floated around in the spacious room excitedly, almost skipping in the air. Yake was a little worried. Anna had changed. She was no longer a good cat who was pampered and hugged by Karuchu before. This is the end of the calf. Thank you, Yaksama, Kaluchu. Anna, who was excited for a while, immediately threw herself on Yake's face, like a face-hugging cat. The fluffy tail flew up. Jacques. Sure enough, I read Anna correctly, she is still a good cat with cat virtue. Haha, what's the matter? Another day the captain will teach you to use your abilities to amplify your move, which is the captain's planetary devastation move. You are handsome. Yake blushed with honey, and Anna was easy to catch. White, soft, hee. This refers to Anna's fur. Speaking of which, Golden Lion Shiki is nicknamed the Flying Pirate, so Anna who inherited lion fruit is the Flying Cat. Timol. Strange. By the way, Reiju, you are ready to eat devil fruit at any time. If there is no accident, dark fruit will be yours. Reiju's strength has improved rapidly, and a powerful devil fruit must be arranged for her. Blackbeard's dark fruit has been reserved by Yake, and the devil fruit prototype and enhanced card are prepared for dark fruit. Say you have to arrange another one for yourself. Okay Captain, I'll listen to you. Reiju smiled and flicked her pink bangs with her little finger. Our pirate group, Fan Oka, and Bebo don't have the fruit ability. If you have the fruit you want, you can tell the captain, and I will try my best to find it for you. Devil fruit is not the only choice in this sea. One can still become a top powerhouse only by practicing physical skills, but having a powerful devil fruit ability undoubtedly has a higher starting point and upper limit, even if one becomes a landlubber. Bebo and Fan Oka fell silent. Bebo looked at Luo, but Luo didn't show any expression, then he looked at the others, and finally made up his mind. 83. A supernova in the evil age, Captain, I don't want to eat devil fruit. Otherwise someone will fall into the water and no one will be rescued. Beppo said sincerely, he did say this on purpose, his real idea is that simple. Captain, fate has not yet reached a fork in the road, now is not the time to make a choice. Fan Oka shook his head and said that Yake offered him the slippery fruit before, but he refused. What he wanted was not this kind of ability, and he was waiting for a suitable ability to appear in front of him. Okay, let's talk about it then, it's getting late, everyone go back to sleep. Robin, Mr. Fujitora, you two come with me. Yake mainly wanted to take Fujitora along for a history lesson. Mr. Fujitora, this is a rubbing of the historical texts I have collected since I went to sea. The translation is over there. Robin, please read it. It's a pity that Fujitora can't see it, otherwise it would be better for him to see it himself, but there is no way. In order to shield the filthy scene in this world, Fujitora hurt his eyes, and he is not willing to change a new pair of eyes. This made Yake very embarrassed. Luo's ability could easily change Fujitora's clone eyes, but Fujitora refused. If the old man puts on new eyes, what's the point of my self-injury? These are the original words of Fujitora, so Jacques no longer insists. Robin simply read the translation of the historical text without adding his own subjective conjectures, just to let Fujitora understand the most authentic history. Fujitora sat upright, very serious. Yake observed his expression and could tell that he was not calm. Oh tilde I really want to know what happened in the blank 100 years, if I can see it with my own eyes. Fujitora sighed and said in a low voice. Yake. Huh? Didn't you say that before? Fujitora has always thought that the reason why the world is full of filth is the inaction of Marine and the government. Otherwise he would not participate in the world conscription in the future, and wanted to change Marine through his own power, but today he realized that he was so wrong. His own understanding of this world is still too little, and the history popularization class taught by Robin enlightened him. I am afraid that subverting this world is the only correct way. Captain Yake, the old man smiled and is willing to join the Ark Pirates and contribute his meager strength to this world. If the old man can live to that day, I really want to see this brand new world with my own eyes. Advertisement Fujitora bowed deeply to Yake. At this moment, he wanted to join Yake from the bottom of his heart and witness the brand new world that Yake depicted. Great, Mr. Fujitora. I think you can see that we are not evil people, our enemies are neither Marines nor pirates, but celestial dragons and world government. Don't violate the justice in your heart. I will force you to do things that embarrass you. From today, you are the deputy captain of the Ark Pirates. Fujitora smiled and officially joined the Ark Pirates, with the position of deputy captain. Yake helped Fujitora up, and with Fujitora's joining, he can pat his chest and say that the strength of the Ark Pirates has completed the transformation. Even if a full-scale war is launched, it is worthwhile. Captain, why? Yake and Robin chose a room for Fujitora and sent Fujitora to rest, and Robin expressed his inner doubts. Robin, he has the same philosophy as us, and he also has a heart of justice. He is the most suitable partner for us. You will understand in the future. Let's go, I will take you back to the room. The next day, everyone performed their duties, and even Fujitora went to guide Anna to practice. His ability has many similarities with lion fruit, and he was the one who asked to teach Anna. Yake was just happy to be free. Drinking tea, reading newspapers, fishing is really comfortable. Puff. Yake took a sip of tea, but he didn't expect this day to come so quickly. The news in the papers was that 5 days after the public execution of Firefist Ace at Marineford, 10 supernovas landed on the Saboti archipelago. Luo has been in the kingdom of God in the sky and did not go to Saboti, so only 10 supernovas gathered in Saboti archipelago. I have to go to Saboti, the famous scene of a supernova, how can I be missing? By the way, Yake also wants to try the feeling of a supernova with one kick, but if it doesn't work, one punch will do. Advertisement in fact, there is another purpose. Yake wants to meet Bartholomew Bear. This tall and majestic man can be called the most humiliating character in One Piece, but he is also the only one who knows the whereabouts of Vegapunk. The person Yake is afraid of, but also the person he wants most. No matter what, Yake must at least ask something from him. Saboti archipelago, Shaki ripped off bar. Straw Hat crew gathered in the tavern to listen to Rayleigh tell the story of the crew of One Piece. Many years ago, I met him unexpectedly on this island. At that time, his straw hat and left hand were gone. When I asked why, he happily told me about you. Since then, I really want to meet you, Monkey D. Luffy, and since Shanks hasn't told you, I can't chatter with you. Anyway, since you've come here now, he must be waiting anxiously in New World. Rayleigh was immersed in the memories of the past, and said slowly, with a faint smile on his face all the time. Yeah, I really want to see him too. Luffy swayed excitedly, desperate to see Shanks soon. Nami felt as if he had heard it somewhere, and hurriedly interrupted. Wait, Mr. Rayleigh, do you know God Yak? He seems to have said something similar to us. Yake. Ha 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 ha, that's my baby son. Why, have you seen him? Shaki, who was pouring wine, smiled proudly. He didn't expect the world to be so small, and there were acquaintances everywhere. Son? So Uncle Rayleigh, are you the father that Yake said? Luffy also remembered what Yake said in the kingdom of the god of sky. Ahaha, that's right, it seems that you have been to Sky Island. Yake didn't make things difficult for you. Usopp looked at the rewards posted in the store, and they were basically the rewards of the Ark Pirates. The rewards for Yake ranging from 1.5 billion to 3.6 billion were neatly posted behind the bar. No wonder there are Yake's reward orders posted here, so he is your son. Nami followed Usopp's voice and said lightly, he is very powerful, we have no power to resist at all, and even his crew easily solved us. But he is a good man and gave us a lot of gifts. Luffy interjected, and in his opinion, Yake was a good man. Yake. You misread the person, I just want Momoko to die. 84. 1'1" that Han Rayleigh adjusted his glasses, a gleam flashed in his eyes, and the corners of his mouth curled up. Ha ha ha, Yake was cultivated by the old man himself. His talent and fruitability belonged to the top level of the sea. It is not surprising to the old man that he can achieve such achievements. Rayleigh is a little complacent, although when he adopted Yake as his adopted son, he only hoped that he could live in peace and stability. Now that Yake has achieved such an achievement, he feels honored. Straw Hat Crew came to Sabaody mainly for coding to go to New World. Rayleigh decided to coding them for free, but during the coding period, they had to avoid the pursuit of Marine, because they fought celestial dragons. Marine Admiral had already dispatched. Yake has not appeared in Sabaody for more than 2 years, and the celestial dragons activity has gradually become bolder, destroying one number 1 island, and there are tens of thousands of number 1 islands. As long as there is demand, there will be a market. Moshi, Moshi? How strange. Moshi, Moshi tilde, can you hear me? Famous actor PPAP. No, Mr. Kizaru, the highest fighter in the Marine headquarters, was at a loss with a black phone bug. He couldn't get in touch with Zon Taowen for a long time. Ask the minions who shoot. I'm looking for a man named Zon Momomaru, he's my subordinate. Kizaru stopped the young man and asked kindly. Ah tilde run. Really, I just inquired. When Kizaru spoke, he had already raised his left foot, the dazzling yellow light condensed on the tip of his toe, a golden wave of light shot out, and the number 27 Alchemon mangrove tree collapsed. Boom 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 tilde. It's really, a little too much? Kizaru has a sweet smile on his face, so cute. Mom. I'm back. Yake took Anna back to Sabaody, and Kong Kong's parents hadn't been home for a while, so he took Anna, who was exercising her abilities, with her. Mrs. Shaki. Anna is back meow. Shaki, who had just sent off Straw Hat Crew, was cleaning the bar when he heard a familiar voice and was overjoyed. Advertisement, damn it. Anna. Why are you here? Anna flew over directly, and she understood the trick of hugging the cat and cat. Ms. Shaki. Anna misses you so much, meow. I miss you too, little guy, it seems that Yake treats you very well. Look at you. You have gained weight? Shaki hasn't touched Anna's cat head for more than 2 years, and now he finally got what he wanted, almost bawled by Anna. Mom. Where's Dad? Did you go for coding? Yake found a seat and sat down, and Kami and Zalba next to him looked confused. Yeah, did we mention you just now, Straw Hat Crew? You know, Rayleigh went to coat them. Shaki let Anna go and pinched Yake's tendon. I have something else to do, I'm leaving first. Anna, you stay here with my mother, I'll come as soon as I go. As soon as Yake heard that it was okay, he rushed out in a hurry, and Kizaru pretended not to be seen any later. Forced. This kid is always in a hurry, but Anna is obedient. Shaki didn't care, as long as he saw that Yake was still fine, he was relieved. Of course meow, Mrs. Shaki, Anna will fly too, you can help me. Anna can't wait to show off her abilities to Shaki, she's still a kid after all. Yake covered the entire Sabaody archipelago with knowledge, and soon sensed the abnormal location, and without a word, he turned into a thunderbolt and hurried on his way. When Yake arrived, Mr. Kizaru had already started to show off, and he didn't work so hard when he was fighting with himself. 8-foot mirror. I saw Kizaru moving to Hyaming Appu's head by reflex, a golden hook hanging upside down, and Appu even led the building to collapse directly. Grandpa Kizaru scored a double kill. Before Yake came, the strange monk Uruj was kicked away, he was the first blood. Cheeky Drake was sleepwalking, and Mr. Kizaru flashed in front of Drake and kicked him at the speed of light. Drake didn't know how far he was kicked, and crashed several buildings anyway. Grandpa Kizaru kills 3 times, has gone berserk. The magician Hawkins already owed Kizaru several lives. If it weren't for the fruit ability to pass on the damage, otherwise he would have surpassed the ghost. But Kizaru still conscientiously sent him a shining arrow. Hawkins had no choice but to resist the dead man this time, and soon knelt down. Advertisement Yake was eating melons with relish, and almost didn't applaud. It seems that Kizaru still didn't get full work benefits back then, but now he has 6 social insurances and 1 housing fund, and Kizaru with year-end bonus afternoon tea is just, so scary. Just as Kizaru was about to make up the knife, the call came. It was time for Gaiac to come on stage and catch up with Kizaru. Yo tilde, isn't this Mr. Marine Admiral Kizaru? What a coincidence. You also come to kick Supernova? Yake flickered in front of Hawkins, and kicked Hawkins away to prove the authenticity. Hawkins. Did I F asterisk K you to mess with you? Oh tilde, isn't this the 5 Emperors Yake of King's Landing? Paradise. Why are you here? It's so scary. Kizaru said that it was old Kizaru, with a peculiar accent, the only one in the world, no other semicolon. Where is it? Kizaru Admiral is really scary. One mouthful is scary, 1 foot is a supernova. I dare not mess with you, it's too scary. Yake pouted his mouth hard, but he still couldn't keep up with Kizaru, so he could only learn the yellow accent. Kizaru was speechless. When he saw Jacques, he still looked cold. How did he become a scholar now? It's annoying. If you don't stay in the kingdom of God in the sky, why did you come here? Look at what you're saying, can't I come here for a stroll if I have nothing to do? If I'm lucky enough to meet some bullshit world nobleman, won't I make a lot of money? What a troublesome person, a person like you should be direct. Kizaru's words stopped abruptly, and the meeting was just a kick at the speed of light. Yake didn't move. He saw that Kizaru didn't attach armament hockey, so he simply let him kick. Anyway, light particles can't do anything to thunder and lightning. It's scary, is thunder fruit elemental? It seems that the old man is going to get serious, Amazono sword. Kizaru opened his hands, condensed a dazzling lightsaber, and moved towards Yake without saying a word cut off. Yake's figure keeps flickering and moving, his hands are always around his chest, don't ask why, it's more handsome just like this. It's really troublesome to have the same speed as the old man. Kizaru shook his head helplessly. You can only walk in a straight line, right? Kizaru, I can appear anywhere, backstab justice. Yake's sudden appearance behind Kizaru is just a kick, and ordinary lightning can't hurt Kizaru unless it is enchanted. 85. Straw Hat Crew Miserable Day. Kizaru was kicked by Yake and hit the building complex. Yake stood still and would come over at Kizaru's speed. Then there was no more. Yake waited for a long time and didn't find Mr. Kizaru. Kizaru, you won't take the opportunity to fish for something, will you? Yake is messy in the wind. Your Excellency Yake, I am a cadre of the Revolutionary Army, so don't be nervous. With a crisp sound, the bear has come to Yake, and Yake didn't expect that the bear found him first. I know that Drago is cooperating with your Excellency. This time I just came here to share a piece of information. Please tell Drago. My time is running out. Shang's tone was very soft, except for his appearance. It was completely impossible to see that such a person would be called a tyrant. Tell me, I'll do my best. Yake looked dignified, releasing an electromagnetic barrier that can interfere with sound and signals. Dr. Vegapunk has agreed to cooperate with the Revolutionary Army's operations. You tell Mr. Dorag and he will know. How about you? I'm going to assist the Straw Hat Crew to leave. After I lose consciousness, I will guard their ship according to the set procedures. Please pass this to Drago for me. After telling Yake everything he wanted to say, Shang quietly left, leaving Yake standing still and thinking. It seems that the Revolutionary Army already has a plan to rescue Vegapunk, and the bear has also impressed Vegapunk and is willing to join the Revolutionary Army. Oh, what an admirable man. Yake sighed deeply. The unconscious bear will become a toy of celestial dragons. Presumably the bear has expected this. After Kizaru was kicked by Yake, there was no big deal. He slapped his asterisk and slipped away. He beat Sengoku with Yake and didn't pay bonuses. He couldn't solve Yake by himself. Anyway, he caught Straw Hat who beat up Celestial Dragon's crew's salary will be stable this month, so why bother asking for trouble? Kizaru successfully reunited with Senmomaru and went to trouble Straw Hat Crew. Advertisement. A dazzling light gathered on Kizaru's feet, aiming at Zoro who had no resistance under his feet. Luffy is entangled in Zon Towin, unable to free Zoro. Usopp and Brook use random shooting and random poking respectively, but it is useless. Without armament hockey to capture the entity, it is only useless after all. Kizaru's feet were almost sore. Rayleigh finally came belatedly and started to fight Kizaru. The bear who had just talked to Yake also rushed to the scene. Then, that guy is the deity, Zoro said, holding back the pain. He was almost wiped out by the pacifists just now. Now that the deity is here, is there any way for them to survive? I can't take it anymore. How many of these guys are there? Usopp broke down. The bear appeared directly in front of Zoro and took off his gloves without any haste. If you were to travel, where would you like to go? Zoro. Hey tilde Zoro. The meatball in his hand hit Zoro, and Zoro disappeared instantly, leaving behind a faint smoke, and Usopp's hand froze in midair. Next up is Brook, Usopp, Sanji. No, stop, what did you do to them? Luffy was furious with incompetence, and at this moment he finally understood what Yake meant by being weak in the kingdom of God in the sky, and now, powerless, there is no hope even if you try your best, you can only watch your partners disappear one by one before your eyes. Luffy knelt on the ground, speechless for a long time. The situation on the other side is a bit unusual, although I really want to help them, I just can't do it when I'm old. Rayleigh fought Kizaru with an ordinary western sword, and it seemed a bit difficult. Rayleigh, who was already 76 years old, it's past its prime. Then the bear came up to Rayleigh and said softly, "You are Pluton Rayleigh, right? I am a cadre of the Revolutionary Army. I have a relationship with this group. I want to let them escape here. I have also told Lord Yake." Rayleigh, who was still very vigilant at first, believed half of Yake's name when he heard Yake's name. Shaki told him about the cooperation between Yake and the Revolutionary Army, but he didn't expect that the 7 warlords of the sea were all undercover agents of the Revolutionary Army. Rayleigh was dubious. Although Kizaru didn't know what the bear said to Rayleigh, but the bear's state was definitely not right, it was abnormal. Believe it or not is your freedom, and my current position is also very dangerous. After doing all this, the bear teleports in front of the fleeing Luffy, Frankie, and Nami. Advertisement, Luffy. Luffy, save. Frankie and Nami disappeared one after another, and Luffy caught them all. Dad, Kizaru is handed over to me, there is still a battle between us. Yake suddenly appeared and punched Kizaru flying. Oh, old man, Yake, I'll go see Luffy and the others. By the way, is that person trustworthy? Rayleigh breathed a sigh of relief. With Yake as his old bone, he didn't have to be so tired. Yake nodded in agreement, and dozens of light bullets passed through Yake's body, but Yake had already turned on elementalization in advance. It's really troublesome. Do you have to fight me? The clay figurine was also very angry, and was beaten by Yake twice. He, Marine Admiral, can't be confused. Come on, Kizaru, isn't a lesson I taught you enough last time? Yake moved his body, ready to start. Although Kizaru was defeated 2 years ago, it was based on the fact that Kizaru was not familiar with his ability, and Yake seized the opportunity to take him away. Now that Kizaru has defenses, it is not so easy to capture his entity, but as long as he is caught by Yake and cannot escape, the end waiting for him is death. It's really disrespectful to the elderly. I was very ashamed last time. The young people nowadays are too scary. Kizaru pouted and started babbling. Yake was too lazy to listen to his nonsense, so he came to say hello with a few thunderbolts first. Gunnier's gun stars. Hundreds of thunder spears appeared in front of Yake and rushed towards Kizaru. 8-foot mirror. Kizaru saw that there was something wrong with the blackened thunder spear at the tip, and it couldn't be hardwired, as it refracted the light and escaped. It's really faster than a monkey. It's Kizaru Admiral, but I'm not afraid of you when compared to speed. Yake turned into a thunderbolt and started a chasing battle with Kizaru. 8-foot Chong Guyu. The light bullets all over the sky are flying towards Yake. Yake is not Kaido. He doesn't want to fight hard, although there is a saying of 8-foot stroke jade in this move, but Yake doesn't believe it. Kizaru, let's see where you can run. Yake was getting bored of playing the cat and mouse game all the time, and he really couldn't run Kizaru in a straight line. Yake predicted Kizaru's weakness in advance and intercepted him. I tell you to run. 6 styles Dragon Fist. Yake punched Kizaru's glasses hard, smashing his glasses, and Kizaru flew out. 86. Start planning. Yake hits Kizaru hard, and Bear hits Luffy with 10,000 critical hits. In just a few minutes, Luffy lost all his companions, all because of this man in front of him. Farewell. Luffy's eyes were full of unwillingness, but being weak is the original sin. In front of the bear, he was as weak as a baby. Luffy disappeared in place, and the Straw Hat crew was scattered in every corner of the world as if they were bounced by the bear. Old man, Marshal Sengoku told us to retreat and not to get entangled with God Yake. Zan Momomaru shouted. Kizaru lying in the ruins is thinking about life. Do you think I seem to be entangled with others? I was beaten and vomited blood, okay? Are you Zan Taomaru? Do you know where Vegapunk is? Yake heard Zan Taomaru's voice, gave up chasing Kizaru, and flashed in front of Zan Taomaru. I'm the most tight-lipped man in the world. I won't tell you that Vegapunk is here. Kizaru, who appeared suddenly, kicked Senmomaru in the face, preventing him from revealing the location of Vegapunk. Hey isn't he your subordinate? Can't you just let him finish the sentence? Yake was about to say something out of Zan Momomaru's mouth, but was interrupted by Kizaru. He was such a haunted man. Kizaru still had that cynical face, took a deep look at Yake, and took Zan Taomaru away without saying a word. Yake didn't stop him, and he would meet him naturally, and there were more than one. Return to Shoki's rip-off bar to find Rayleigh has returned. Yake, you're here. Hey how's Straw Hat crew? If there is no accident, they have already gone to every corner of the world, and we will not be able to meet them in a short time. They are still too weak now. Yakela came to a bench and sat on it. That's fine, forget it. Rayleigh fell silent. Advertisement, Mr. Yake, Mr. Luffy, did they really escape? Kami asked anxiously, and Xiao Ba also looked at him in a daze. Don't worry, they are still alive. Jacques signaled Kami not to worry. Luffy is really, no matter where you go, you can make friends. Dad, Mom, Anna and I are going back to the kingdom of the god of the sky first, take care. Yake left with Anna with a look of reluctance. Hello, is it Drago? I'm Yake, and Shang told me a piece of information. After returning to the kingdom of Sky God, Yake dialed Drago's phone. Your Excellency Yake, what's the matter? Yake told Dorag the information that Shang asked him to convey, and Dorag seemed a little silent. Oh I see, Shang has really reached that step. Thank you, Lord Yake. If you need help from the Revolutionary Army, just ask. Forget it, you can't help me yet, so be it. Just after hanging up the phone, Yake saw Ganfor running over in a hurry. What's the matter, Ganfor? Master Yake, there is an intruder in a Peyado's training base, that is, the Straw Hat Kid last time, who has been arrested now. Do you want to go and see? Yake was a little surprised. I didn't expect Shang to take Luffy to his site. That's right, the original Hydra Island has been moved to the vicinity of a Peyado. Shang probably came to the Kingdom of the Sky, but Yake didn't find out. Bring him over to see me. Yake said lightly. Let me go, I'm going to find my partner, you guys. Luffy was very anxious. His partner was missing, and he fell to an unknown place and was arrested until he saw Ganford. Know where you are. Hey, Yake, it's you. Great, can you send me to Sabaody? I'm going to find my partner. Luffy felt saved when he saw Yake. Advertisement, it's pointless for you to go back now. Your partner has been sent to a different place by the bear. It is impossible to return to Sabaody in a short time. The bear is helping you escape, he is not malicious. Instead of worrying about your partner, you should worry about your brother, Ace. Yake threw the newspaper on Luffy's face. Ace, he was arrested and will be publicly executed. Luffy looked at the content of the newspaper in disbelief. The newspaper was from yesterday, but too many things happened yesterday, and he didn't have time to understand it at all. What should I do? What should I do? I'm going to save Ace. Yes, I'm going to save him. Yake, please, help me. I must get Ace back. Luffy was in a mess. Seeing Yake seemed to see a life-saving straw. Ace is still in Impel Down. I can take you there, but how to save Ace is up to you. What is Impel Down? Impel Down is a devil fruit temporary storage for Yake. Most of the strong people in the old era were sent to Impel Down. Although Yake has no way to get their abilities directly, but Blackbeard will come. Dark Fruit can take the dissipated devil fruit energy and transfer it into the fruit. After Blackbeard became the 4 emperors, he hunted and killed capable people everywhere, but he only ate dark fruit and shock fruit, that is to say, he used dark fruit to capture the energy of devil fruit dissipated by dead capable people, and transferred the energy to a suitable carrier. On the fruit, the devil fruit can be reborn on the spot instead of searching all over the world. These are just Yake's speculations, and the specifics need to be obtained from the dark fruit. This time Yake decided to take Reiju and Luffy to Impel Down. As soon as Blackbeard appeared, he would kill it directly, get dark fruit through the devil fruit prototype, and then, needless to say, "That's great, take me to Impel Down, I must rescue Ace." Luffy said energetically. Yake is really a good person, he can't wait. Yake also wanted to rush to Impel Down as soon as possible, but the problem was that Yake had never been to Impel Down, and he didn't know where he was, or he had suffered the loss of not being in prison. Kaido has a wealth of experience in prison, and even has a wealth of experience in public executions. It is recommended that Roger and Ace learn more. Luffy, I don't know where Impel Down is, but I can ask, and I'll tell you later. Yake said awkwardly. It seems that he has to ask Luffy's father. What he said before was also Marine. I should go to escort the criminals. Dorag, do you know where Impel Down is? I'll go to Impel Down first. Impel Down? Inside the comm belt in the first half of the Grand Line. What are you doing in Impel Down? Luffy is going to save Ace, and I happen to want to go to Impel Down. Why is Luffy going to save Ace? Do they know each other? Drago didn't understand the relationship between Ace and Luffy at all. Even before Garp told Luffy. Luffy didn't even know that he had a father. 87. Go to Impel Down. Come on, don't even your son understand? He and Ace are sworn brothers. Yake said speechlessly. Dare you just care about life and care? Fortunately, I met Rayleigh and Shaki when I was a child, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Yake hung up the phone and had a plan in mind. He called all the members of the Ark together and explained Yake's plan. Reiju and Yake took Luffy to Impel Down, and the others were on standby, ready to go to Marineford. Mr. Fujitora, this war is very important, so please take care of them. Yake told Fujitora alone that Fujitora's strength is second only to Yake's existence in the Ark Pirates, and Yake can rest assured that he sits in charge and takes care of the crew. Don't worry, Captain Yake, the old man will live up to his trust. Okay then, Reiju, Luffy, let's go. The eyes of the whole world have been set on Marineford, the son of Roger, the Pirate King, who was also caught by Marine, and the evil blood is finally about to be eradicated. This time, Ace was publicly executed, and Sengoku also started a live broadcast to let more people in the world know about it. If Ace can be executed successfully and the Whitebeard pirates can be defeated, then Marine's prestige will rise unprecedentedly, and at the same time suppress the arrogance of pirates' arrogance. The ideal is beautiful, but the reality is very skinny. The three of Yake have arrived near the Impel Down submarine prison. As this Impel Down, the security is really tight. Reiju was shocked when he saw the part of Impel Down exposed to the sea. Countless watchtower guards were patrolling, and no one could escape except Golden Lion Shiki. Let's break through the sky, Reiju, Luffy, we're going to go right in, you just have to be reckless, got it? Yake said lightly. There are many strong people in Impel Down, but they are not the Marines and jailers of Impel Down, but the prisoners who are being held. The only thing that can threaten Yak is Magellan's toxin, but as long as Yak doesn't take a bath in Magellan's venom, it's not a big problem. The slight toxin can be removed by Reiju, and it can also enhance feelings by the way. Understood, let's go. Luffy was very calm and his IQ was above the mark. As long as he can keep his IQ online, One Piece will be over long ago. Without further ado, Yake flew over Impel Down with Reiju and Luffy. Advertisement, Reiju. It's up to you, clear. Reiju activated the combat suit and fell like a meteor, smashing a big hole in the top of the Impel Down. The alarm sounded immediately, and the entire Impel Down alarm bell went off. Yake threw Luffy into the big hole Reiju made, found another place to smash in, and split up. Luffy acts alone. Reiju and Yake will act together. They're in the open. Luffy is in the dark. Both sides have their own goals. What's going on? Have any prisoners escaped from prison? Magellan rushed out of the bathroom with his trousers up, looking nervous. If any prisoner escaped, it would be a major dereliction of duty for him. Director, someone has invaded Impel Down. Look. The guard in the monitoring room pointed at the screen. Yake showed a mouthful. White Fang smiled at the surveillance phone bug, very happy, but in Magellan's eyes it was provocation. Damn it, it turned out to be God Yake. Why did he come here? Hurry up and notify the Marine headquarters, we need support. Hanayabel, I'm going to stop the intruders. They will definitely cause chaos when they come to Impel Down. You hurry to the 6th floor and transfer Ace. He is the most important person. Magellan is worthy of being the old warden. He has rich experience and is calm in times of crisis. It would be even better if he could put on his pants and talk. Director, put your pants on first. I really don't know how you became the warden. Obviously, I am more suitable. Oops tilde my ambition has been accidentally exposed. Hannibal complained about Magellan mercilessly, but still carried out the task honestly. Ah tilde turn your heads away, don't look at me. Magellan suddenly realized, covered his lower body shyly, and pulled up his pants with lightning speed. It's over, I didn't wipe my ***. Yake successfully reunited with Rayleigh, and Luffy has followed the location indicated by the life card to find Ace. What's it like to take a walk in the great undersea prison? Yake. I don't feel anything, it's just a little noisy. Advertisement there were sirens everywhere, and the jailers rushed over one after another. Yake and Rayleigh didn't need to use their hands at all. Ordinary bullets hit them like scratching an itch, and basically had no effect, but Yake thought it was too annoying, so he simply opened the electromagnetic barrier to block all the bullets, and then continued walking. Hey, how'd I get to the basement floor? Yake grabbed the jailer's neck and asked lightly. Captain, it seems like he can't speak when you're like this. Rayleigh can't stand it. Yake is good at everything, but sometimes he is a bit silly, but it also makes him more real, more like a person rather than God. I know, you say it again. As soon as Yake heard it, he put it down in a hurry, and tidied up his messy uniform. Yes, over there, the jailer pointed in a direction tremblingly, and Yake then threw him out. Yake and Rayleigh came to the entrance of the basement level in the direction pointed by the jailer, and the basement level is Crimson Hell. Most of the prisoners in Red Lotus Prison are trash fish. Bebo can kill all directions here, but it may be difficult to meet blue orangutans. Look, they're not wearing handcuffs. Save us, please save us. The prisoners in the cell saw Yake as if they saw a life-saving straw, and frantically begged Yake to take them out of this hell. Yake was going to let them out, so as to cause a little trouble for the jailer, otherwise it would be annoying to always find him, but Yake didn't have the key yet. Lay metallurgy. Yake took out a little gold from the storage bar and shaped it against the keyhole. Soon a golden key was ready, and after trying it, it just opened all the doors. The prisoners on the basement floor are not very important, the cells are all standard, and the keys are not very special. One key is enough to open all the doors. Yake made more than a dozen golden keys in the same way, throwing one away when passing by a cell, until all the keys were given to the prisoners. The prisoners who came out were grateful to Dade and went to rescue other prisoners, and the cells suddenly became noisy. Captain, they are all prisoners. If they run out and want to endanger civilians, is that really okay? Rayleigh thought about the results of these prisoners after they went out, except for a few who have reformed themselves. Most of them must still be in their old profession, becoming pirates and going to civilians. 88. 3 floors in a row. Rayleigh, your idea is right, but it is difficult for them to escape, because I am here. The Marine headquarters will definitely come with warships, they have no chance. Yake understands Rayleigh's concerns, but the prisoners in the first 3 floors are basically not very good, it's just that there are too many people. Without the leadership of Mr. Conqueror's lug buggy, they can't escape at all. Will Marine Admiral come? HMPH tilde it seems I'm thinking too much. Walking out of the cell area, there is a large area like a forest outside. The trees are sword trees with leaves that are as sharp as blades, and the grass is needle grass that can pierce the human body like needles. Yake also saw Luffy and Buggy doing nothing around the big hole in the middle. What are you doing? Do you want to go down? Let me help you. Yake and Rayleigh Luffy came over, helped them, and pushed them down. No. Who pushed me? I'm Master Buggy. Buggy fell down in despair, but he was not alone, and Luffy accompanied him to the second basement floor. Yake and Rayleigh also leaped down into the Wild Beast Hell. Wild Beast Hell, as the name suggests, the jailers inside are all kinds of ferocious beasts. The prisoners on this floor know that they will become the food of the beasts sooner or later, so they don't even have the strength to be afraid. Director, they have entered the second basement floor. Very well, quickly release all the beasts to stop them. Magellan was pacing anxiously in the director's office on the 4th basement level. He had already talked to Marshal Sengoku on the phone just now. The Marine headquarters had sent Vice Admiral Garp to support him down. He just had to wait until the Marine hero came over. Now he only hopes that Yake will not release all the criminals every time he reaches the floor. The riots of all the prisoners are very troublesome. Just after receiving the news, Hannibal also went directly to the 6th basement floor and took Ace away directly. Now he has been sent to the escort warship and sent directly to Marineford. Magellan was immediately relieved. Follow me to the entrance of the 4th floor of the basement to stop God Yake, and we must persist until the warship of Vice Admiral Garp arrives. Advertisement, yes. Yake, who had just entered the 2nd floor, suddenly wondered if he had gone to the wrong place. The whole place was a zoo, and all kinds of strange animals rushed towards them. Ah, it's the blue orangutan army. Wait, Sphinx, why did it come so soon? It's over, I'm dead. Buggy yelled, panicked. It was you. Lousy almost ran away, but you pushed me down. Don't you know Lord Buggy's reputation? Buggy was so angry that he yelled at Yake, and his saliva almost splashed on Yake. K-face. Huh? What did you say your name was? Jacques stood sternly and cast a sideways glance at Buggy. I'm sorry. I'm just Akiba. Buggy simply bowed and apologized to Yake, because he just confirmed his eyes, and he is someone who cannot be offended. Ah! The Sphinx roared, and all the beasts swarmed up, trying to tear Yake and others into pieces. Thunderbolt torrent. Yake stretched out his right hand, and the torrent of thunder swept the entire aisle. All the beasts and blue orangutans were bathed in the thunder, howled by the electricity, and a strange smell of meat came from the air. Oh, I forgot about you, Spear of Gingnur. Yake condensed a thunder spear, weighed it in his hand a few times, and then threw it out. Before the Sphinx could react, the spear pierced its forehead, the breath on its body began to dissipate, the second barrier was broken through, and the prisoners also ignited their confidence, calling for help to Yake and the others. Yake didn't bother to care about it this time. People at this level were as weak as chickens. They had been frightened by ferocious beasts before, and they were not as energetic as those at the first level. He doesn't care about Luffy and Buggy. They seem to have found Mr. 3, the Candleman. I can't remember the specific name of Yake. Anyway, it's their business how they make trouble. Yake continues to take Reiju down. Advertisement. It took a while for the boss to find the entrance to the third floor. The third basement floor, Starvation Hell, is extremely hot due to the heat from the blazing hell on the lower floor, coupled with the torture of starvation and hunger strike. The prisoners are already half dead. As soon as Yake came in, he felt a heat wave, which made people very uncomfortable. Captain, it's so hot here, and it's dry. Reiju is not used to this kind of climate. Her body is not as perverted as Yake's, and she doesn't feel like Yake. Then do you want ice cream? Anna made it. Yake magically took out a few ice creams that were steaming cold and handed them to Reiju. The most important thing in Yake's storage is all kinds of food. That would be great. Tilda, it's strawberry flavored. I like it the most, if you can sprinkle some poisonous powder on it. Reiju took Yake's ice cream unceremoniously. Yake himself is not idle. One bite of ice cream, and a large glass of cold beer. Yake itself does not have the ability to freeze, but the items put in the storage bar will maintain the state when they first entered. The two walked in starvation hell like an outing, and the prisoners in the cell were almost crying, swallowing their saliva, and staring at the ice cream in Reiju's hand. Damn it, the intruders are not only the god Yake, but also the Straw Hat Luffy and the Clown Buggy. They kept rescuing the prisoners on the second floor. The defense force has been solved by Yake. Our jailer will not arrive for a while. They are not important. What is important is Yake. He is our biggest threat. Magellan said lightly. The more critical the moment, the more calm it is. Let Saludes intercept Straw Hat Luffy. He is no match for god Yake. Let me deal with them when they reach the fourth floor. Magellan is ready to resist desperately. The entrance to the fourth floor has been blocked. Yake must pass this level if he wants to go deep. Magellan's purple venom kept falling, making a hissing sound as it corroded the ground. All jailers wore gas masks to avoid being accidentally injured by Magellan. It's strange, no one came to stop us on this floor. It's really strange. Jacques walked for a long time in starvation hell, except for the sand and prisoners. He didn't see a single jailer. Isn't it just right? It won't waste our time, right? Reiju stretched his waist, showing a beautiful curve, and he was a bit full of ice cream just now. That's right, then let's go. The entrance to the fourth floor is not far away. Yake vaguely saw the distant building, and led Reiju to speed up. Looks like there's a battle coming up. Reiju, are you ready? 89. Thunder Dragon vs. Duran. As soon as he walked near the entrance, Yake saw that there was a lot of breath at the entrance below. Presumably Magellan was waiting for them here. Reiju silently activated the battlesuit, the meaning of which was self-evident. As soon as he entered blazing hell on the fourth floor, Yake saw the guards and the director of the detention center, Magellan. The temperature here is also surprisingly high, because it is a boiler room, full of boiling blood pools and sea of fire, but it has little effect on Yake Reiju. The only thing that needs attention is Magellan's poison. Magellan's poisonous fruit is very similar to Reiju's bloodline factor ability, but Magellan's side effects are too great, and he likes to eat poison, so he pulls it every day, and spends more time in the toilet fishing than normal working hours, but the fruit's power is terrifying and needs to be dealt with carefully. Just stop here. I'm Commissioner Magellan, and I won't let you do anything here. Fire. Seeing Yake and Reiju appear, Magellan launched an attack without hesitation. The smoke and dust from the gunpowder covered the figures of the two, but Magellan did not dare to relax at all. It would be ridiculous if such an attack could solve them. There is no harm in smoking. Yake and Reiju, both unscathed, walked towards Magellan's troops step by step. Is it really useless? The poisonous dragon. There is nothing to test. Yake is definitely the kind of opponent who needs to go all out. Magellan directly zooms in, and the body is filled with a thick purple venom, which condenses into 3 poisonous dragons roaring and rushing towards Yake. Almost wiped out Blackbeard's unique skill. Arbitration Dragon. Yake naturally would not underestimate the enemy, a huge thunder dragon entangled with the poisonous dragon with a tooth-piercing electric sound. The high temperature attached to the thunder and lightning continuously evaporated the venom, and the closed boiler room was filled with poisonous gas. Yake was not big enough, and a gas mask was worn on his head to prevent the toxin from affecting his body. The Brontosaurus devoured the poisonous dragon without any surprise, and roared and rushed towards Magellan. Magellan took off the horns on his head, which turned out to be weapons, and barely resisted the remaining Brontosaurus. Magellan had a gloomy face, and with his unique costume, he looked like Satan coming out of hell. Poison Giant Soldier Judgment of Hell. Magellan releases the blood-red giant skeleton from his body. Unlike the purple poison that is usually released, this trick is a specially made bright red poison. Advertisement: any substance that comes into contact with it will be infected and gradually spread to corrode everything. As long as a person touches the poison, it will gradually spread until death. This ability is too dangerous. Yake looked at the jailers who fell one by one next to Magellan. The toxin was still spreading among the jailers. The infection was so severe that even his own people were ashamed. Yake, let me do it. This poison seems delicious. Reiju seemed very interested in looking at the bright red poison, and urged the battlesuit to rush towards Magellan. How is it possible? How is it possible for you to be immune to my toxin? Magellan looked at Rayleigh in shock. When Rayleigh came over, his body was covered with red toxins, but after a while, the toxins were all absorbed by Rayleigh's body, and the pink color on his back, the wings are getting more and more bright red. 6 forms. Butterfly dance. A dozen of tempest kicks flying slashes hit Magellan solidly. Rayleigh easily dodged the attack of the poisonous giant, and Magellan's attack was seen through by the knowledge that could predict the short future. Magellan's deadliest venom has no effect on Rayleigh at all, and Magellan can only fight back with physical skills. Correspondingly, Rayleigh's venom has no effect on Magellan, but fortunately, her physical skills are very strong, and Magellan immediately fell into a disadvantage. This is Luffy leading his little friends to the 4th floor. Hey Tilda Yake, you guys are here so soon. Who is that uncle who was beaten up? As soon as Luffy came in, he saw Chong Wei being Laifu, but he only knew Rayleigh. She was Sanji's older sister, whose name she forgot. Okay, it's Luffy. Stupid, that's the director of Impel Down, Magellan. Buggy complained speechlessly. Why doesn't this silly boy know anything? Wow, the soles of my feet are so hot Tilda. Mr. 3, the Candleman, tap danced, because the floor was really hot. Rayleigh is fighting with him. Don't come here, this place is full of toxins. Yake stopped them, seeing that Xiao Feng and Candleman were there, and Luffy's escape team gradually grew. Ah, what he said is true. Magellan is a poisonous fruit-capable person. Cover your nose quickly, pick up some gas masks and put them on. Buggy shouted in panic. His palms came out of his body, and the jailer fell up and down. Gas mask. If you want to pass here, you have to step on my dead body. Get the hell out of here. Magellan finally broke out after being beaten for a long time. Advertisement. To be honest, his lethality is comparable to Admiral, but his physical skills are not very good. It is impossible to expect a person who lives in the toilet every day to exercise physical skills. Rayleigh, speed up. If we defeat him, we will be unimpeded. Seeing that Magellan was at the end of his strength, Yake couldn't help urging. Magellan met Rayleigh as a nemesis, and the venom he was proud of was useless. Follow the captain. Haha, I'm sorry, Mr. Director, I can't play with you anymore. By the way, your venom is delicious, Rayleigh said with a coquettish smile, which can be described as murderous. Damn, how could I? 6-style soccer a fall. Boom. Magellan's tall body fell limply, and Rayleigh's blow directly seriously injured Magellan and knocked him unconscious. It's done, Captain, you can move on. Rayleigh clapped his hands and looked at Yake with a smile. Yake gave a thumbs up. Awesome. Once you get the dark fruit, Rayleigh will be the proper daughter of darkness. Great, Magellan is knocked out. Here's our chance, rookies. Ivankov saw the situation on the 4th floor from the monitor. Magellan, who suppressed Impel Down by himself, fell, so there is nothing to fear in this prison. Let's go out and take care of these boys. Oh. Here is the 5.5th floor, the paradise in hell, Impel. Gathering place of S******************. Sexy fishnet stockings and a cape, a rose-red bodysuit with a low-cut, light blue eyeshadow and purple lip gloss, long and thick eyelashes. Are you excited? No, you are too happy. This is Emporio Ivankov, the king of S********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* him. He led a group of transsexuals out of the secret passage to the 4th floor, and rushed towards Yake and his party. 90. I can't accept it. Yake and Reiju, who were about to leave, heard the movement and looked back suspiciously. Reiju covered his mouth in surprise. Yake's eyes were almost blinded by the heat. There is no normal person in this group. You think you see a beautiful lady. Sorry, he is a male transgender. These are all good, at least they look normal, and those ladyboys in women's clothing are Morty eyes are hot. Anyway, Yake is absolutely unacceptable, not much better than Ant's naked body. Psychic damage has an outstanding effect on Yake. I'm Ivankov, the new Monster King. What's your name, this powerful boy? Ivankov winked at Yake. Yake suddenly felt cardiac arrest and couldn't breathe. Bentham next to Luffy was speechless with excitement. The person you were looking for is over there. He is Drago's son. Jacques sold Luffy without hesitation, and never wanted to see Ivankov's face and clothes with hot eyes again, so he changed to normal clothes. Yake can barely accept it. Yake respects them. Aesthetic, but just don't let Yake see it. Ignoring Ivankov's surprise, Yake took Reiju and moved on, escaping from this place of right and wrong. The 4th floor is the director's room. It is much easier to find the elevator to the 6th floor here. It didn't take Jake a lot of effort to find the elevator used by the jailer, and went to the 6th basement, Eternal Hell. The prisoners held here are either death row inmates or life imprisonment until they die. The reason why a Marine is imprisoned for life is to prevent the rebirth of the fruit ability after the death of the criminal. What is imprisoned is not the demon fruit power, but the devil fruit ability, so that the vicious ability here will be reborn in the sea later. Advertisement. What a beauty. Tilda, are you here to make this old man vent his anger? Evil Government King Bizarro stared straight at Reiju's sexy figure with greedy eyes. Thunderbolt torrent. Yake stared blankly, and shocked the unrestrained criminal for 3 minutes. He didn't stop until he was electrocuted alive. Pizarro's painful wailing spread throughout Eternal Hell before he died. I don't know how to live or die, dare to speak rudely to my woman. Yake glanced at the other prisoners, but no one dared to speak. These prisoners can see that this is definitely not a prisoner, otherwise they will never kill casually, except for a very few who are not afraid of death, such as a red-skinned strong man in the corner, looking at Yake without fear. There is still a trace of disdain in the eyes. Crocodile, are you comfortable in it? Jacques found Lao Sha after walking a few aisles. Crocodile seemed to be in good condition and still looked very imposing. What the hell, I see you everywhere. You don't look like you were caught, Crocodile said angrily, his eyes neither sad nor happy. Old Shah, my previous promise is still valid. If you are willing to subvert the world with me, I can release you right away. If you don't want to, I won't force you. Yake never forgot what he said to Crocodile before. If not, staying in prison is too wasteful. Aren't you afraid that I will go back on my word after I come out? Crocodile said lightly. The last time Yake invited him, he refused strongly, and now it feels a bit embarrassing to accept it. Yake saw the entanglement in Crocodile's heart, and directly used ley metallurgy to make a key, opened the door of Crocodile's cell, and then made a small key to unlock the seastone handcuffs. Come with me if you want. After all this, Yake left to find another Shichibukai Jinbei. Crocodile stood still and looked at the backs of Yake and Reiju, gritted his teeth, and followed. The prisoners in the cell were excited when they saw that Yake had the key. There must be a future with Yake. Only 2 people broke into impelled down. Can they be weak? Hey, I would also like to join your pirate group. Save me. Advertisement, me too. Add me, Dad, save me. Yake called him a good guy. Everyone who recognized his father on the spot. He was a perfect son. But now I don't have time to pay attention to these people. Let's get out the people I know first. Jinbei, remember me? Yake walked to Jinbei's cell and knocked on the seastone door, but his ability had been strengthened and he was resistant to seastone in the sea, so this contact had no effect. Your Excellency Yake, why are you here? Jinbei heard the shouts outside the cell just now, but he ignored them. Ace was taken away by Hanai long ago, so he had to squat quietly. I'm here to find Ace. It seems that he has been taken away. By the way, do you want to go out? Yake shook the key in his hand and rattled. Thank you Yake, your majesty. I just want to go out. Your kindness will never be forgotten. Jinbei thanked Yake with effort, and the chains on his body made a crisp sound as they dragged on the ground. Jinbei, you have been disqualified from the 7 warlords of the sea by the world government. Do you want to join our Ark pirates? You should know that only by subverting the world government can the residents of the Fishmen Island truly live in the sun. Yake tried to invite Jinbei to join, but Jinbei seemed to have some concerns. I understand what you mean, but the Fishmen Island has always been protected by Father Whitebeard, and Ace is also my friend. Now I must go to Marineford to rescue Ace. After that, I will naturally be willing to join your Ark pirates. Jinbei thought for a long time, said slowly. Haha, I happen to be going to Marineford too. Let's go together when the time comes. This time it must be very lively. Yake was amused when he heard it, but he didn't expect him to be so slick today. Lao Sha and Jinbei were both told by himself moved. With the addition of Jinbei, a professional corpse hunter, the crew no longer have to worry about falling into the sea and no one will save them. The other prisoners saw that it was okay, and rescued another one. It must be their turn next time. Shouts came and went, and they all promoted themselves. Quiet, I don't know you guys, I can let you out, but I just want strong demon fruit power. You, okay, that's enough. Yake picked out a few more powerful demon fruit powers. It was released, but the seastone handcuffs were not released. After all, he was going to be killed later, so bringing the seastone would save some time. The people chosen by Yake include Dog Fruit, Phantom Beast, Nine-Tails Fox form Katrine Demai, and World Destroyer Brindy Waldo, who was frozen into ice sculptures. His fruit ability is Momo Fruit. Yake thinks this ability is very suitable for Fanoka, and all Yake really wants are these 2 fruits. 91. Blackbeard attacks Yake released a total of 4 people, and the others should be honest and squatting. These vicious criminals are not the same as Yake at all, and they will only continue to do evil when they are released, but there is one person Yake has to care about. Yake walked to Douglas Bullet's cell and asked lightly. No, I don't want to join some bullshit pirate group. My strength exists only for me to win. Bullet said disdainfully. Bullet only believed in his own strength. Yake silently opened his cell and released Bullet. Good momentum, come on, come to the sea and beat me, I'm Yake, I hope you don't die. Yake uncuffed Bullet. Yake. Hatilda, you really impress me. Bullet took a deep look at Yake and left without looking back. Bullet's goal is to become the strongest in the world, but isn't Yake? How boring it would be without an opponent. Bullet is definitely the most amazing monster Yake has ever seen. It is no worse than Kaido. Conqueror's Haki belongs to the top level of the sea. It is interesting to fight against such a person. Bullet has just joined Roger's pirate group and can tie with his father, so he won't be too weak, and he has the whereabouts of Raftel's eternal pointer in his hand. If he can get it, he can save a lot of trouble. In the desperate eyes of other prisoners, Yake and his party left eternal hell in this way. Yake and his party left the 6th floor with 6 people. Katrine Demai and Brindy Waldo were both in handcuffs. Jinbei and Lao Sha became the left and right guardians standing on both sides of Yake and Reiju. At the same time, the Blackbeard pirates that Yake has been thinking about finally came to impel down, but the situation seems to be different from what they thought. Captain, it seems that someone has already been here. Lafitte felt something was wrong, and reminded Blackbeard aloud. Thief, ha ha ha, isn't it just convenient for us? Let's go? Deputy Director Hanayabal, 7 warlords of the Sea Blackbeard invaded and Impel down. Director Magellan has been defeated, what should we do? Hanayabal had just returned from delivering Ace, but he didn't expect the situation to be so bad. Now the scale of the prisoner's turmoil is so large that even the Deputy Director is to blame. Although he is weak, he also has a heart for the people. The prisoner his escape will cause chaos in the world, and he must come forward. Advertisement, the director is not here. Hanayabal is the director. Listen to me. Order, close the elevator, and guard all the exits with heavy troops to prevent the prisoners from escaping. Yes. The elevator was fine when Yake came, but he couldn't use the elevator when he went back. Yake had to find the exit and go up layer by layer. He had never been to the 5th floor before. This is freezing hell. A large number of army wolves, they are stronger than the animal strength of the 2nd tier of wild beast hell, and they like to move in groups. But these were not big troubles for Yake, and they were easily solved by Lao Sha and Jinbei without even making a move. Hey, Yake boy, I finally found you, huh? Ivankov was shivering from the cold, but insisted on giving Yake a death wink, and Yake felt how cold the climate here was. Straw Hat Luffy, Ace has been transferred by Marine. If you want to save him, go to Marineford. You guys run away. Jinbei heard Ace tell about his younger brother. Although he saw it with his own eyes, he still recognized Luffy through his appearance. Kindly reminded. Tilda, how come? Luffy, who was shivering from the cold, took out Ace's life card, and sure enough, it had changed direction and was still burning. Boss. Daz Bonus, who was rescued by Luffy, went straight to Lao Sha's side and was loyal. Now I'm not the boss, he is. Lao Sha pointed at Yake, and Daz Bonus glanced at Yake without speaking. Everyone, hurry up and escape. Let's save Ace. Knowing that Ace was transferred, Luffy immediately changed his target and ran away in a hurry. The rest of the people seemed to be centered on Luffy and the others, and followed. They can't wait to leave early. Okay, let's go too. It's too cold here. Yake raised his hand to finish off a few army wolves, and beckoned everyone to leave. Blackbeard's group was very fast, and basically did not encounter strong resistance, except that there were more people at the gate of each floor. It took a little time, and soon broke through to the 4th floor, blazing hell. As soon as Luffy saw that it was Blackbeard, he fought against him without hesitation. Although Blackbeard was injured a little, he was basically fine. Ivankov held Luffy and stopped him from giving away the head. Advertisement, yo, brother Teach, I didn't expect you to be here too. Yake's eyes lit up as soon as he came to the 4th floor, and Blackbeard Teach's ugly face became cute, and now Yake's mood can be summed up in a single lyric. I finally waited for you. Fortunately, I didn't give up. Thief, ha ha ha, brother Yake. Why are you here? What a coincidence. Teach had an urge to turn around and run away. Yake's strength is far above him now. He is not Yake who only has dark fruit now. Opponent. Well, I have something else to do, brother Yake, I'm leaving first. Teach was determined to leave. He and Yake were definitely not in the same line, although he didn't know why his plan was copied by Yake. He no idea. He only knew that if Yake did something, he would surely die. Don't rush away, Teach, you haven't left your dark fruit yet, Yake said with a half smile. Arc Pirates, attack. Reiju, Lao Sha, and Jinbei faced Blackbeard's crew respectively. Reiju vs Lafitte. Crocodile vs Poison Q. Jinbei vs Giza's Badgers. Yake is facing Teach across the air. Yake, what do you mean? Teach was so angry that his face was twisted, black gas had covered his hands, and there was darkness behind him, like an abyss. Teach, your dark fruit experience card has expired, and now it belongs to me. Yake made no secret of his intentions. In his eyes, Blackbeard is a fat meat ready to be slaughtered. Although dark fruit is very restrained, Yake can beat Blackbeard to death with physical skills alone. Despise the enemy tactically, and attach importance to the enemy strategically. Yake left the ground to avoid being pulled into the dark space by the Dark Blood Road, so as not to overturn the car. Blackbeard's dark fruit can attract the ability person to himself. Can only absorb small range attacks. How to deal with Blackbeard? Yark already has a solution. Thunderstorm. Thunder Dragon, 92. Blackbeard kneeled. Yake first released a large-scale lightning torrent to block Teach's way. Dark fruit couldn't resist the long-range large-scale skills, and Teach screamed from the electric shock. The Brontosaurus following behind devoured the rolling Blackbeard, making Blackbeard even blacker. It hurts me to death. Yake. You be asterisk 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 D. Dark Water. Blackbeard knew that Yake was a double fruit ability user, but as long as he attracted his entity, he could cause damage to him. Teach, I'm not Ace. Yake felt a strong gravitational force attracting him in the direction of Teach, and a strong Conqueror's impact erupted instantly, interrupting Teach's skills. Ganger's Spear Slash. Yake condensed a Thunder Spear and threw it. The target was Teach's heart. Dark Water. Using both hands, Blackbeard devoured the power of Stormpike. Thief, ha 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 tilde, did you see it? Yake. My ability is invincible. Teach couldn't help but feel proud when he saw his ability successfully took effect, and his arrogant laughter was a bit harsh. Yake's face didn't change, and it's no surprise that Teach can stop him. Although he relies more on fruit abilities, he still has basic combat awareness and physical skills are not weak, but Yake's skill pool is beyond Teach's guess. Teach, I'm going to pierce your heart with this next, are you ready? Yark pulled out Tensa Zangetsu, and the next thing he did told Teach directly. Don't lie to me, I won't fall for it, Teach said so, but slowly covered his heart with his hands. Yake disappeared in place and did not appear for a long time, Instead, Teach began to panic, looking for Yake everywhere. Where are you? Yake, get out of here, are you afraid? I'm here. Yake appeared beside Blackbeard, and Blackbeard's hand stuck to it, trying to attract Yake's entity. But it was just an attempt. Yake disappeared in the next second, and then kept flashing next to Blackbeard. Advertisement: Blackbeard is in a hurry and nervous. Dark fruit is the nemesis of all demon fruit power, but the premise is to meet it. Blackbeard has encountered this situation now. Yake has appeared by his side countless times, but he can't touch it at all. Be ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* Blackbeard jumped over the wall in a hurry, and released dark tunnels around him, and all people and objects on it would sink into darkness. Sorry, Teach, your dream is over. The Kanglong dies. Yark appeared above Blackbeard's head, a materialized thunder dragon swallowed Blackbeard whole, and Tensa Zangetsu also stuck on top of Blackbeard's head. I am not reconciled. Blackbeard didn't rest in peace, his eyes full of ambition stared straight at Yake. Bring you. Yake took out the prototype of devil fruit. He had been waiting for this day for a long time. The white fruit prototype in his hand slowly turned purple, making the dark fruit that Blackbeard had dreamed of and ecstatic appeared in Yake's hands. Dark fruit, here it is. The battle between Reiju and the others was also decided. Lafitte, Burgess, and Poison Q were no match for Reiju at all. Knocked out by Jinbei. Lafitte is demon fruit power and Reiju has put sea stone handcuffs on Lafitte. Captain, are you going to kill them? Reiju has never been a soft-hearted woman, never showing mercy to any enemy. Leave them alive first, let's forget about the dead ones. Yake didn't care about Blackbeard's crew now, and Yake used the Devil Fruit enhancement card against Dark Fruit. Ding, please choose the strengthening direction, strengthen the ability effect, enhance the negative resistance. Strengthen the ability effect. Yake has used it before to strengthen the negative resistance, which is to enhance the resistance of seawater and sea stone, but Dark Fruit has obvious weaknesses, so Yake decided to strengthen the ability of Dark Fruit. Advertisement, ding, the enhancement is successful, and the enhanced version of Dark Fruit has been obtained, and now it can be normalized as an element. Earn blood. This wave is not bad. Reiju, this is your devil fruit, eat it. Yake smiled and handed the dark fruit to Reiju. Everyone may betray Yake, but only Reiju will not, she must obey Yake's will. Dark fruit handing it over to Reiju was planned by Yake long ago. Yes, Captain. Reiju didn't have any ink stains, and ate the dark fruit neatly, with an ugly expression on his face. Captain, I seem to have gained power. Reiju's whole body turned black and merged into the darkness. Yake stabbed Reiju's abdomen with a knife, without any additional arm color, but Reiju didn't respond. Dark fruit can be elementalized, which is too strong. Reiju, try to transfer devil fruit ability first. Yake pierced Lafitte's heart with a knife, and lost his vitality in his unbelievable eyes. Captain, I feel a surge of energy coming out of his body, I can. Reiju's black hand clenched, as if grabbing something. Have you caught it? Come on, try to see if you can transfer it to the fruit. Yake took out a bunch of fruits from the storage bar and let Reiju choose. Reiju tried to transfer the energy into the banana, but the ability in his hand kept resisting, and seemed to refuse to enter the banana. Reluctantly, Reiju tried cantaloupe and oranges, and finally successfully transferred them to apples. The red apples gradually turned white, and devil fruits were reborn one by one under the eyes of everyone. It's unbelievable. Is this the reason why Blackbeard has been lurking for more than 20 years and wants to get this fruit? Jinbei said solemnly. Crocodile laughed. He finally understood why Yake said he could overturn the world. Although with the power of dark fruit, he can get any ability he wants. Even all members can become demon fruit power. A serious demon fruit power army is too scary. I can't imagine what will happen fighting power. Katrine Demai and Brandy Waldo finally understood why Yake asked for demon fruit power by name, and specially asked them to wear sea stone handcuffs. It turned out that their ending was clearly arranged by Yake from the beginning. Damn it. How dare you lie to my old lady? Let me go if you have the ability, and see if I don't crush your little balls. Katrine Demai yelled at her when she realized that she had been cheated. The language was extremely dirty, which made Reiju frown. Super Railgun. Yake raised his hand instantly, and an apple-sized blood hole appeared between Catherine Demai's eyebrows, and she fell powerlessly to the ground. Reiju, it's your turn. 93. Devil Fruit, Dark Water. Reiju sucked the corpse of Katrine Demai to her side. A mass of invisible energy was caught by Reiju, and then tried to put it in that fruit. Different types of devil fruits like to host different fruits. The special type of devil fruit can't tell what kind of fruit it is. For example, Luo's op fruit is a heart-shaped fruit. Who can tell? Guess. Fortunately, there are all kinds of fruits on Yake. Reiju tried for a while and successfully put the devil fruit energy into a West Blue specialty pear. The yellow pear keeps changing and becomes a unique fruit. Dog Fruit Phantom Beast 9 Tails Fox form available. I didn't expect that this old man would have a day of being bullied. But even if I die, I will never let you succeed. Lousy is World Destroyer Brandy Waldo. Brandy Waldo jumped into the boiling blood of blazing hell, and would rather be burned to ashes than let Yake and the others succeed. This. Luffy, what are you looking at? Grab him. Let him not panic to death. Yake summoned Luffy, who was dazed beside him, and the latter suddenly understood, stretched his arms and lifted Waldo into the air. Pulled to the ground. Super Railgun. Yake doesn't want to tell him more, no matter what his identity is and what kind of story he has, but I want to decide on devil fruit. Yake, it doesn't need to be so troublesome. As long as he dies, his devil fruit energy will dissipate. I can just use dark water to suck it in. Reiju also gradually put to use the experience, and she was very satisfied with the newly acquired ability. Now I can finally become a great help to Yake. Ah, is that so? Yake has never eaten dark fruit, and he really doesn't know the effect of dark fruit's ability. There must be many secrets. Reiju spread his hands and shrugged his shoulders, followed the same pattern, extracted Valdo's Momo fruit, and transferred it to the fruit. Advertisement Momo fruit in hand. In less than 10 minutes, Yake successively obtained Lafitte's unknown fruit, Catherine Dime's phantom beast species, and Waldo's Momo fruit. Now this impelled down is useless. The bodies of Blackbeard and his crew were thrown into the sea of blood, and the corpses were destroyed, so as not to cause any more trouble. Okay, everyone, let's go back to the kingdom of God in the sky. Yake's goal has been completed, and he is ready to sneak away at any time. He has already sensed that there are more than a dozen warships in the sea that have surrounded Impel Down. No matter who it is, Yake didn't want to waste his energy for the time being. Yake moved from the 4th floor to the ground floor with Reiju and the newly recruited crew, and Luffy's escape team followed closely behind, and encountered a big surprise as soon as they went out. Yak kid, I've been waiting for you for a long time. No one can escape Impel Down today. Where's that idiot Luffy? Garp shouted from the bow of the ship, and the soldiers behind him also aimed at the escaped prisoners. Garp, today is not a good opportunity for us to fight. I will go first. Luffy is behind me. Yake didn't want to fight with Garp. This old guy's strength is terrifying. No one can tell the winner in a few days and nights. Just go straight turning into a dragon form. He used the flame cloud to lift off a piece of land on the 1st floor of the Impel Down Sea, and took away Reiju old Shaw Jinbei Dasbonus who was standing on it. B*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Garp didn't expect Yake to run away directly, and suddenly became anxious, angrily threw a few shells at Yake. Old man Garp. I'll beat you up tomorrow, I'll go home for dinner first, ha ha ha. Yake twisted his body and avoided it. By the way, the trash talk will affect Garp's mentality. Damn it, this old man must beat this kid into a pig's head, this old man is so mad. Grandpa, why are you here? The ignorant Luffy shouted in a hurry, and Garp's eyes lit up. Yake sold Luffy without hesitation. Garp would soften his heart anyway. In extreme anger, Garp could even be punched by Luffy to the ground. What Garp threw at Luffy was not water, but sea. Advertisement. Yake returned to the kingdom of the Sky God with the fragments of Impel Down. Yake, is this your country? It's really good. Seeing Yake's country, Lao Sha thought of Alabasta, which he had planned for several years but failed in the end, and suddenly felt a little sad. What are you doing? Join if you can't beat. Lao Sha can only comfort himself like this. Ha ha ha, this is our territory, welcome home. Everyone jumps off the pieces of Impel Down, and Yak turns into human form. Jinbei, when this big incident is over, the Fishmen Island can rebuild the sunshine. As long as the residents of the Fishmen Island want to return to the ground, they can immigrate to our God of Sky Kingdom. Here, they are absolutely safe. Yes. Yake patted Jinbei on the shoulder. This is the long-standing wish of all the residents of the Fishmen Island. As long as they have such an opportunity, they will definitely come to the kingdom of Sky God without hesitation. From 10,000 meters under the sea came 10,000 meters above sea. Then I would like to thank Captain Yake. The old man is very grateful. Yake first asked Jinbei and Lao Sha to visit the kingdom of God in the sky, and then he took Reiju back to Shenju, and arranged for Devil Fruit first. Captain, you're back, how's your harvest? Robin, who was working, raised his head and looked at Reiju and Yake with a smile. Robin is now wearing glasses, and he has a strong style of the president's secretary. Robin, look. Reiju stretched out his smoky right hand. Reiju, have you eaten Devil Fruit yet? Isn't this the ability of the recent Blackbeard? Robin looked at Reiju's ability in shock. He had only read the information about Blackbeard some time ago, and his ability was exactly the same as Reiju's. I've killed Blackbeard, this is his ability, Logia Dark Fruit, known as the most vicious Devil Fruit. Yake lay comfortably on the cloud chair, yawned. Today's harvest is quite fruitful, not only did I get the dark fruit, but I also got a few powerful fruits. Impel Down is such a good place, it was a worthwhile trip. Reiju, it seems that you have become stronger again, and it seems that I will never be able to defeat you again. Don't worry Robin, I will protect you in the future. Yake held the Devil Fruit in the fox form of Nine Tails, a phantom beast, thinking. Although he had the ability to capture Devil Fruit, he basically found crew members with Devil Fruit. These powerful abilities really couldn't find a suitable one. Users. 94. The power of Momo Fruit. Lafitte's Devil Fruit ability doesn't know what it is. But according to Reiju's description, Lafitte can transform into wings and has the ability of hypnosis, which makes Yake feel that this fruit is also a phantom beast. Only phantom beasts have special abilities. In Pirate World there are very few people with hypnosis ability. Apart from Lafitte, Jake only knows Zango, but Lafitte's hypnosis ability is much more reliable than Zango. Yake pondered for a long time but couldn't guess what ability Lafitte's Devil Fruit is, so he might as well give the Momo Fruit to Fan Oka first. The ability of Momo Fruit is to increase the speed, volume, size, etc. of the objects it touches, up to 100 times, but it cannot make creatures other than itself bigger. This fruit ability can be called heaven-defying. Fan Oka combined with this fruit, no one in the sea can escape his bullet, and the power will be increased by 100 times. If it wasn't for Berndy Waldo being locked up by Seastone, it would have taken Jacques a lot of work. Yake got up and went to the training ground to find Fanaoka, who was contacting the armed color entanglement. Fanaoka, here is a devil fruit. I think it is very suitable for you. It is the ability of World Destroyer Brindiwaldo. Yake took out the Momo fruit and briefly explained the ability of this fruit to Fanaoka. Fanaoka didn't care about it at first, but listening to Yake's narration, his eyes became brighter and brighter, and he even felt that this devil fruit was tailor-made for him, and it was simply too suitable for his ability. Captain, this fruit is very suitable for me. The captain has taken care of you. Fanaoka decisively decided to eat this fruit. After experiencing unbearable torture, the smell of devil fruit finally dissipated. Without saying a word, Fanaoka took out his fate and aimed at the target in the distance. Momo 100-fold railgun, advertisement destiny began to charge, and it took a certain amount of time for the electromagnetic gun to launch. Boom! Yake saw a bullet shot out and the diameter directly became about 25 meters, and the speed was extremely fast. If it wasn't for Yake's strong sense of knowledge and color perception, he wouldn't be able to see the trajectory of the bullet at all. It was a huge bullet. It's terrifying to disappear directly in front of Yake. The distant forest was directly cleared of a spacious passage by the electromagnetic bullet, and the bullet could no longer find its trace, and flew into the sea. A ditch more than 10 meters deep was also plowed out on the ground. With the creation of technology and the ability to multiply, Fanaoka already had the power to kill the 4 emperors. Captain, the speed of the electromagnetic gun is too fast. If you forcibly increase it to 100 times, the consumption will be very high, and you can't directly double the armament hockey on the winding. Fanaoka was a little out of breath, and increased the size of the electromagnetic gun by 100 times. The direct evacuation of his physical strength, and the armament hockey that he wound on the electromagnetic bullet just now was directly diluted and disappeared. Yake frowned, and then let Fanaoka take a break to try ordinary guns, shells and other abilities. Yake kept observing and finally came to a conclusion. Momo fruit is limited. You can't double the armed color out of thin air. For example, if Fanaoka enlarges himself, the consumption will increase sharply if you use the armed color. Guns and shells need to look at the original size and speed. The bigger the faster things will increase physical exertion. Sure enough, there is no invincible fruit, only invincible people. If it is given to Garp, Yake can be called Grandpa. Fanaoka, exercise your physical strength more in the future. The stronger your physical strength, the higher the upper limit of this fruit, but now your lethality is considered to be at the top level. This kind of fruit is a big killer in the hands of physical monsters, but Fanaoka is not bad. With its super long-distance sniper ability in Momo fruit, it has evolved into a killer in the world. Don't enlarge the size and wrap it with armed colors, it's still very easy, and the threat to Logia is doubled. Fanaoka is obviously also very satisfied with the ability he just obtained. Even though his stamina bar has bottomed out, he still keeps testing his ability. Now the Arc Pirates have no shortage of combat power. The top combat power includes Yake and Fujidora. The high-end combat power is Hancock, Reiju, Fanaoka, Lao Sha, Jinbei, Luo, and Robin are also very capable. But she doesn't like fighting. She is the strongest support of the Arc Pirates. The mascots are Anna, Beppo, and Perona. Anna and Perona have good abilities, but they can't practice themselves, so they can't decide a war for the time being. There is still room for improvement, and Bebo is a pure mascot. Advertisement Yake is very satisfied with the configuration of the Arc now. Yake is confident that he can win any 4 emperors, including Red Hair Pirates, but it is not necessary. Tomorrow will be Ace's execution day, and everyone in the Arc Pirates will participate in the war. Yake unilaterally announced that the war has been taken over by the Arc Pirates. Impel down. Luffy escaped anyway. Garp couldn't bear to send Luffy to impel down, let them snatch a warship and escape. Garp is picking up all the prisoners who tried to escape later. Luffy has taken the fugitives to Marineford to participate in this epic war. Shichibukai have gathered in Marineford, and there are Doflamingo, Hawkeye, and Big Bear who participated in the war. It is really pitiful. Shichibukai has never been able to recruit people. The government has set its sights on the supernova who is making trouble in Sabaody. Send them invitations to become lackeys of the world government. Garp, how about impel down? Sengoku said with a serious face. Sengoku, Yake escaped with Crocodile and Jinbei, and I missed it. The riots in Impel Down have subsided, and most of the prisoners have not escaped. Garp said bravely, ready to be scolded by Sengoku this time. It was indeed his negligence. He let Luffy go, but he didn't say anything, because he was afraid of making Sengoku's brain bleed. Oh Tilda, forget it. Come back as soon as possible, Garp, and prepare for tomorrow's execution. Sengoku sighed deeply. He was already ready for Marine to face the 2 Sea Emperor's pirate groups. Whitebeard is okay, he is old, and the young and strong Yake is the biggest threat. Sengoku has already requested support from the world government. This time, not only Marine, but the CP organization of the world government and the commander-in-chief of the 3 armies, Kong, will participate in the battle. Marine has tried its best in this battle, but the opponent is too strong, and Sengoku has no confidence. This summit war has an unprecedentedly luxurious lineup. CP dispatched 3 admiral commanders. They are usually responsible for protecting the safety of celestial dragons in Marineford. They joined the war at the request of 5 elders. As long as the Arc Pirates when the regiment appears, they will join the battle. 95. Summit War Prologue. There are still 3 hours until the execution of Ace. Marine's publicity has spread all over the pirate world, and most people in the world already know about the upcoming big event. Whitebeard is a well-known pirate in the old days. He is equally famous as One Piece King Roger and Golden Lion Shiki. His reputation spreads all over the world, not to mention the Grand Line. People all over the world are paying attention to this epic war. All they know is that Whitebeard will fight Marine, but they don't know that the Ark pirates will also join the battle. The incident of Impel Down has been temporarily concealed by Marine. Except for people from the world government, few people know that Yark invaded Impel Down. Marineford. Here is the Marine's family area, and the people living here have been arranged to take refuge in order to prevent the Marine soldiers from worrying about the future and do their best to meet this battle. The formation of the Marine has been set up. The Marine soldiers called from all over the world, a total of about 100,000 people, a total of 50 warships surround the crescent-shaped bay and the entire island, and the shore of the bay is covered with countless heavy artillery. From the port, you can see the 3-7 warlords of the sea, Heavenly Yaksha Doflamingo, Hawkeye Dracula Mahawk, and Tyrant Bartholomew Bear standing at the forefront of the army. Behind them are the 8 giants Marine Vice Admiral. The exaggerated body shape is particularly prominent. Look, those are the admirals. A Marine soldier looked nervous, and his colleagues around him also stared with bated breath, their hearts beating violently. On the platform above, the 3 highest Marines, Aokiji, Akainu, and Kizaru, walked in sequence, exuding a suffocating sense of oppression. Justice prevails. Sengoku's voice echoed through the microphones throughout Marineford. All Marine officers and soldiers were boiling, shouting slogans in unison. A familiar figure appeared from beside Sengoku, the old Marines burst into tears, and the recruits looked at each other. It's the former Marshal of Marine, Marshal Kong Kong, he's here too. Justice must prevail. Justice must prevail. The shouts resounded throughout Marineford, and the arrival of Kong Kong was obviously a shot in the arm for Marine. At this moment, the soldiers felt from the bottom of their hearts that Marine would definitely defeat Whitebeard this time, completely changing the pattern of the world. Sengoku nodded to Kong and continued. Bring up the prisoner Firefist Ace. The 2 executioners walked up to the execution platform slowly with the silent Ace, and the chains rattled. The nervous heartbeats and even breathing of tens of thousands of people were extremely clear in the quiet and treacherous atmosphere. He is the man who may become the fuse of a world-shaking war, a Marine soldier with pigtails said with difficulty. At the same time, it is also the culprit who controls the fate of the world. Ace knelt on the ground, lowered his head, and crossed 2 long knives in front of him, making a crisp clang. Sengoku, Garp, and Kong walked slowly behind Ace. Is that all right, Garp? I'm going to tell you all about it, Sengoku asked, tilting his head. Whatever you want, I'm going downstairs. Garp said he didn't want to talk to Sengoku. Garp is still the same, Kong said helplessly. You all get out of the way. Yes. Bring the phone bug. Yes. Sengoku put the phone bug in his hand, paused, and spoke after a while. There is something I want to convey to you in advance. Portgas D. Ace, about the significance of this man's death here. Garp, who walked down, sighed and looked at the ground for a long time without saying a word. It's not your fault, Garp, Crane said slowly. Ha 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 ha, women at this time are really gentle, Xiaohei. Garp suddenly laughed, although he was very uncomfortable now. Marineford's execution was broadcast live in Sabaody. Reporters from all over the world came to Sabaody to let the whole world know that the battle was over as soon as possible. As a result, in order to transmit the news quickly, they even brought their printers. The genius reporter who shocked the world is impressively listed. No, now he is the editor-in-chief. Marine's lineup is too strong this time, and the Whitebeard pirates will definitely lose. Yeah, except Marine 3 Admiral, Marine Hero Garp, Marshal Sengoku and Marshal Kong are all present, and there are countless Vice Admirals who have arrived, and Admirals alternates include Momosagi, T-Dolphin. I don't know how Marine should lose. Idiot, the most terrifying thing is the Marine Science Unit. Have you seen that? The rows of pacifists used them to solve the so-called supernovas of the era of extreme evil a few days ago, and they have no power to fight back. Advertisement. The reporters were all talking, and without exception, they all felt that Marine would win. Ace, state your father's name, Sengoku said lightly. In order to add fire to this execution, he deliberately concealed it until today and was not ready to speak out. Father, my dad is Whitebeard, Ace said with his eyes closed, and Whitebeard was the father he recognized. Wrong. Sengoku had already guessed that Ace would not admit it. Nothing wrong, only Whitebeard, no one else, Ace yelled. HMPH tilde at that time, we opened our eyes and searched desperately. On a certain island, that man's child might be left behind. With the little information and possibility that CP only had, we had a good understanding of the newborn baby, the baby who was about to be born, and the baby who was about to be born. Their mothers made a thorough investigation, but they were never found. It's no wonder. You were born in exchange for your mother's life, or your mother's ulterior motives. She deceived our eyes, not the eyes of the world. In South Blue an island called Bathurla, and your mother's name is Portgas de Rouge. Kneeling Ace's eyes widened, muscles tensed, Sengoku continued. This woman's behavior is far beyond our common sense. She put the child in her womb for 20 months, and then gave birth to you. She was exhausted and died on the spot. 1 year and 0 after the death of her father 3 months. The baby who inherits the most evil blood in the world is born, and that is you. There is no way you don't know. Your father is One Piece Gold D. Roger. Sengoku's voice echoed in Marineford. All the Marines fell silent, and Garp clenched his fists tightly. The melon eaters who watched the live broadcast through Saboti Archipelago's equipment also fell into dead silence. The world suddenly quieted down. One stone startled 1,000 layers of waves, and finally someone uttered an exclamation. Fire Fist Ace is the son of Gold D. Roger. Did the power of Fire Fist Ace be inherited from his father? Smoker remembered the time when he and Ace were in Alabasta. At that time, Ace said that he was Luffy's brother, and he believed it stupidly. Sir Smoker, isn't Ace the real brother of Straw Hat Luffy? Tashigi was still a little unclear about the situation, but Smoker was no longer in the mood to answer Tashigi's words. Garp covered his face, remembering the past. Ace was entrusted to him by Roger on his deathbed. Although he took advantage of Roger and became Roger's father, he regarded Ace as his grandson from the bottom of his heart. Now that his grandson has come to this point, he felt very uncomfortable. It is difficult to decide between Marine's justice and ordinary people's family affection. You started to use your mother's name as the head of the Spades Pirates. When you galloped across the sea with your outstanding strength and speed, we finally noticed that Roger's blood has not been cut off. But at this time Whitebeard, who was aware of it at the same time as us, let his son, who was once his rival, be on his ship in order to train you to be the next One Piece. No, Ace firmly denied. I got on that ship to make Dad the One Piece. Ace vehemently denies it, but Sengoku simply ignores it. Only you think so. In fact, we can't shoot you at will because you are protected by Whitebeard. If you just ignore it, you will definitely show your aptitude to be the apex of the next generation of pirates. So, take it down here today. Your head is of great significance. Even if an all-out war with Whitebeard breaks out. The marine present was boiling again, their morale was raised to the peak, and they shouted for victory. At this time, the door of justice opened. Report to Marshal Sengoku. The gate of justice opened automatically without any instructions, and the power room cannot be contacted, a marine said nervously. This is absolutely impossible in normal times. What did you say? Sengoku was shocked. Based on his many years of fighting experience with Whitebeard, he would definitely not use any tricks. Could it be that B*********** D Yake? It must be him. Yake. The sea surface of Crescent Bay is calm, but there are turbulent undercurrents hidden under the sea surface. Suddenly the siren blared loudly, and densely packed ships appeared on the sea ahead. The whole army is ready to fight. The forts aimed at the distant sea one after another, and the pacifists raised their heads one after another. It's the grand fleet of the Whitebeard pirates, but the Moby D***K, where Whitebeard is on, is nowhere to be found. Advertisement: a total of 43 ships of different sizes are all Whitebeard's team, and these captains, without exception, are all famous pirates in New World. Furofurfur, this is really interesting and exciting. Come on, Whitebeard. Doflamingo couldn't wait. Bubbles were constantly floating on the sea surface of Crescent Bay. A huge splash burst from the middle of Crescent Bay. Countless waves surged up. The sea surface was covered with ripples, and the waves hit the shore, turning into raindrops and splashing down. Sengoku. Could it be? A black shadow emerges from the center of the Crescent Bay, and a huge ship appears from the Crescent Bay. It is Whitebeard's Moby D***K. Whitebeard, did he come from the bottom of the sea through coding? Sengoku figured it out, but he was surprised that Whitebeard could also play tricks. Then 3 more ships from the Whitebeard pirates invaded Crescent Bay, and the bubble burst. Brother Xiaoma, Chaozi, Yizang and other 14 captains are all here. Clang. 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 The sound of metal knocking was getting closer, and Whitebeard slowly climbed to the top of the Moby D***K holding the supreme sharp knife Kong Yunki. A strong sense of oppression hangs over the marine camp. For Marine, Whitebeard is not just a name, but countless failures and shipwrecks. Gu la 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 tilde, we haven't seen each other for more than 10 years, Sengoku. Whitebeard. Is my dear son all right? Whitebeard, with scars all over his body, faced all the Marines, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised, hockey leaking out, and the densely packed Marines were ignored. Wait for me, Ace. Looking at his silly son on the execution platform, Whitebeard said kindly. Daddy, we will never let anyone hurt you, Ace tilde. Be prepared, Marine headquarters, we will rescue you right away. The captains of the Whitebeard pirates said one after another. Doflamingo's long and flexible tongue protruded playfully out of his mouth to take a breath of fresh air. He was afraid he would bite off his tongue. The pink flamingo fur coat was particularly eye-catching. Dover turned to look at Hawkeye on the right. Are you going to watch from the sidelines again? Anyway, you are here to pass the time. Whatever you think. Eagle Eye remained expressionless. Whitebeard stuck the blade of the Kongyun cutter on the floor, and Whitebeard opened his hands slightly and folded his body before putting them together in front of his chest. The sea breeze made Whitebeard's coat rattle. After a few breaths, Whitebeard stood up, opened his hands suddenly, and white cracks appeared on both sides, making the cracking sound of glass being overwhelmed. The sea began to swell, and the 1,000-meter-high waves jumped high. The violent tsunami surrounded the entire marine fort. The huge waves were about to hit, and the marine soldiers panicked. This is the terrifying power of shock fruit. When encountering such a scene, Yake can only run into the air to avoid it, and it is absolutely irresistible. Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, what's that? A tsunami. Although Sengoku hasn't fought against Whitebeard for a long time, he knows Whitebeard's ability like the back of his hand. Even if you have the advantage of numbers, don't be overconfident that you will win. Maybe we will lose in the end. That man can have the power to destroy the world, Sengoku reminded. The waves piled on top of each other, getting higher and higher, covering the sky and sweeping towards Marineford from both sides. The Marine soldiers felt that it was getting dark. The waves caused by Whitebeard were high enough to block out the sun. If Marineford was attacked, it would be reduced to ruins and everyone would die. The man stood up, he moved, he disappeared, he flew into the sky. Ice Age. Aokiji spread his arms horizontally, and shot out 2 icicles from his palms, enough to destroy the entire Marineford sky covering giant waves, which were completely frozen within a few breaths, releasing icy cold air. Aokiji, you little brat, 2 thorny spears. Whitebeard didn't even look at it, his right hand was raised high, white cracks spread all over the atmosphere. Kuzan's spear was shattered directly, and he had to turn on elementalization, but was also smashed and fell into the sea. 96. The war begins after Aokiji fell into the water, the sea under his feet began to freeze. 5 fingers were inserted into the sea, with Aokiji as the center. The sea surface was continuously frozen, and the ice spread rapidly. In just a few seconds, the entire Crescent Bay was frozen into a solid ice surface. This is the power of Logia. The sea was frozen, whether it was the Whitebeard pirates or Marines warships guarding the Gate of Justice, all were frozen in place, unable to move. The sea became land, even if it was temporarily. Fire. An unknown Marine general shouted loudly, the veins on his neck bulging. Boom, boom. Heavy artillery was fired, and countless shells were fired at the Whitebeard pirates' ship. The war has begun. Let them see how powerful we are, Foil Vista shouted excitedly, and countless pirates jumped from the bedboat onto the ice and charged towards the execution platform of Marineford. Kill those damn Marines, come on, come on. The captains and their men landed at Marineford under heavy artillery fire. Fight the pirates, all Marines, justice must prevail. Marine was also not to be outdone. Hundreds of thousands of Marine soldiers came out, armed with muskets and sharp knives, to harvest the lives of the pirates. The smoke of war began to fill the air, and countless pirates and Marines fell one after another. War will kill people, both Marines and pirates have made up their minds. Marines' high-end power, Vice Admirals also jumped off the execution platform and came to the battlefield created by Aokiji. Grandma Crane, step back. Leave it to us to clean up here, go to the rear and drink tea slowly. The 2 Marine Vice Admirals persuaded the chief of the general staff, Don't be so cool, you young brats, even if I retreat to the end of the sea, there will be no safe place. Crane said something thought-provoking, this war can only advance but not retreat. Advertisement, kill them all, the goal is in the bay, go, I will die for my father, go, big Uzumaki spider pirates. The dutiful son Skyad shouted while copying a long knife, and the long tongue in his mouth flicked back and forth, which was no worse than Doflamingo. Hawkeye jumped off the stage without saying a word, an inexplicable aura permeated around his body. Oh Tilda, it's really rare. Kizaru wore yellow glasses and his mouth turned into a yellow chrysanthemum, and he was very surprised that Hawkeye joined the battle. What, are you going to go? Just to try, how different is the man in front of us from us? Mihawk said lightly, staring at Whitebeard who was standing with a knife in his sharp eyes like eagles. With his right hand, Mihawk pulled out the only 12 supreme swords in the world, the Black Sword Knight, from his back, and slashed in the direction of Whitebeard with the sword in his hand. As soon as they met, it was a flat A without saying a word, and he asked Whitebeard if he was afraid. Buggy. Hawkeye, little people Tilda if you move, lousy loses. A huge sharp sword energy tore through the ice all the way, and rushed towards the Moby D*K. The Foil Vesta, who was also a swordsman, was the first to feel the suffocating power. With this sword energy, let's see what kind of power the world's #1 swordsman has. At this time, the most expensive man in the world appeared. Diamond Chow's roared, his body began to turn into a diamond, he blocked the Eagle Eye's sword force abruptly, but was pushed back continuously by the sword energy. Chow's veins burst out, he stood up, stepped on the ice under his feet, and pushed his sword energy into the sky, almost tearing apart the clouds. Joe's, who was shining with diamonds on his body, grinned. Oscar-winning actor Kizaru can't sit still, and the kindergarten principal is going to attack Whitebeard, a 70-year-old man. Kizaru turned into particles of light, which is still very dazzling on a clear day. 8-foot Chong Guyu. Kizaru squeezed the orchid fingers with both hands and crossed them, countless dazzling light bullets poured out. Little Ma waved his magnificent phantom wings to receive all of Kizaru's attacks. His body was constantly pierced, but he quickly recovered. The Phoenix's blue flames quickly healed the wounds on Marco's body. How can you disturb our king as soon as you come? Little Mark said with a stern face, with a faintly contemptuous smile hanging on the corner of his mouth. Covain tilted the Whitebeard pirates. Zone, a phantom beast that is even rarer than Logia. Kizaru's tone was still out of tune. With a loud shout, Marco turned into a beast, charged against Kizaru's 8-foot poor Guyu, and kicked Kizaru fiercely. Advertisement Kizaru blocked Marco's attack with one hand. It was Armament Hockey, who attacked Kizaru's entity, but it seemed useless. Etc. Hey tilde this trick also worked. Stop lying. Marco didn't believe Kizaru's nonsense. In the next second, Kizaru turned into a yellow flash and hit the wall. Akainu. Kizaru, you XXX, you are still acting, today is the lousy promotion competition. As if hearing Akainu's voice, Kizaru suddenly returned to the battlefield, stood upright, turned his head to call the giant troops to pay attention to the sky, and seemed to be very conscientious. Akainu looked straight and nodded. Diamond Joe's directly lifted the skull from the ice, pulled out a huge iceberg, and threw it towards Marineford with a back fall. There is something to stop it, Akainu. I'm sorry, today the old man marshal promotion competition. Great eruption. The huge grunting magma punched the iceberg, and the ordinary iceberg was evaporated, shattered into nothing, posing no threat. Meteor volcano. As if setting off fireworks, the volcanic meteor dealt an indiscriminate blow to the pirates and Marine on the ice. In the distance, a huge figure slowly appeared. Little Ozzy crossed the sea and landed on the battlefield, holding a machete on 100 meters, and cut a gap in Marine's encirclement. If Moria was still alive, he would probably be ecstatic, but he can't see it anymore. Ace, I'm here to save you, don't come here, your huge body is being targeted. Little Oz picked up a warship and threw it at the execution platform. Oz opened a breach in the bay, through which pirates could pour into the Marineford Square. It was also the first time for the giant vice admirals to meet someone they needed to look up to, and they flocked to Little Ozzy. As Ace said, Little Ozzy, who suddenly entered and left the battlefield, became a living target for Marine, and the shells fell on him for free. It exploded, and Little Ozzy was scarred in a short while. The giants, vice admirals, were no match for Little Ozzy at all. They were hacked to the ground, and it was the first time that the giants who had been bullying others by virtue of their size advantage were sanctioned by even bigger giants. Seeing that Oz was getting closer to the execution platform, the fleshy fruit robot bear launched an attack. 97. The man who comes with the thunder, bear impact. The air bomb compressed into ultimate exploded on Ozzy, severely wounding Little Ozzy, and the huge straw hat fell on the ice. You can't get here, Little Ozzy, go back. Little Ozzy seemed to have heard Ace's yell, and continued to move forward despite the severe pain. Still can't get there, at least one Shichibukai. Little Ozzy swung his fist at Doflamingo, but each of the remaining 3 Shichibukai was not good, and Doffer easily dodged Ozzy's fist, and the sharp line cut off his foot, and Ozzy fell to his knees. It's such a tenacious creature, Fufurfur, the super twisting whip. Doflamingo sprayed out dozens of almost transparent thin threads from his palm, and then entwined these threads together to form a thick strand like hair, and threw it towards Ozzy's head. Ozzy's huge head fell under the execution platform. In front of Ace, his huge eyes still refused to close, staring straight at Ace, and his huge body fell powerlessly on the square. Oz. This is the first time Ace has regretted his recklessness. If it wasn't because of his willful behavior, his family members wouldn't have risked their lives to save him. Feeling powerless, frustrated, mixed feelings, tears of regret soaked his eyes. Find a loophole, Whitebeard. Giant Clan Vice Admiral Ronsa picked up the giant axe to kill himself. The death of Little Ozzy made Whitebeard very angry. He shattered the axe directly and pressed Ronsa's head to the floor. The white shockwave covered his head, the iron helmet was shattered, and Ronsa's head was shattered into pieces. He got a paste and died on the spot. Whitebeard grabs Ronsa's head and throws Ronsa's body overboard like trash. Walking on Oz, the Whitebeard regiment launched a general attack, rushed to Marineford Square on the headless body of Ozzy, and the war entered a fever pitch. No one noticed that patches of dark clouds were beginning to gather over Marineford. All Marines obey orders. Crane picked up the phone bug and informed all Marines. Ignore their original plan and execute Firefist Ace immediately. Garp stood under the execution platform, where he had been alone for a long time. As if he had finally decided something, Garp stepped onto the execution platform step by step, recalling that Ace's mother delivered the newborn baby Ace to him. Every step he took when he went up the steps was extremely heavy, and it was the balance in his heart that weighed on his steps, what is measured as justice and affection. Garp stepped onto the execution platform and stood beside Ace. Sengoku glanced at Garp. What are you here for? Do you have any objections to combat? No, the opponent is a pirate, not worthy of sympathy. Advertisement, so. Shut up, what does it matter if I stay here? Garp interrupted Sengoku roughly, sitting next to Ace. Although it's not worth sympathizing with bad guys, my own family is different. What should I do? Ace. You be ************* D. Why don't you live according to what the old man said? The Marine hero Garp choked up, clenched his teeth tightly, and big tears ran down his vicissitudes of cheeks. A man doesn't flick his tears lightly, but he doesn't reach the sad point. It's unimaginable that the hero is crying. How entangled Garp's heart must be at this time. Ace bit his lower lip tightly, as if he didn't expect Garp to say such a thing. Grandfather. As things stand now, if you try to make any crooked ideas, I will never forgive you, Garp. Sengoku was afraid that Garp would soften his heart and do something stupid. If there is anything I want to do, I will already do it. Wait, what's that in the sky? The Marine soldier saw a black shadow in the sky. Ah tilde. They say you've done too much. This kind of thing doesn't matter anymore. If you fall, you will die. There was a loud bang in the sky, and Luffy made his debut. But his arrival has not caused much change for the time being. Marine and pirates should fight and kill. Except Garp put his head in his hands and looked like hell. Boom tilde boom. A few muffled thunderclaps came from the oppressive dark clouds. Sengoku looked up suddenly, only then did Sengoku suddenly realize that the entire Marineford had been covered with dark clouds, and the black sky exuded a suffocating sense of oppression. Why did it thunder? What's the matter? Are you still afraid of thunder, Sengoku? I just don't like the guys that come with it. As soon as Sengoku finished speaking, the thundersnake surged in the sky, and a dazzling thunder light fell from the sky to the very center of Marineford Square. The smoke and dust dissipated, and a large pit in the shape of a human appeared on the ground. Advertisement. That bloody B*************** D is here. Sengoku clenched his teeth. Is that the god Yake you mentioned? Kong pointed at the human-shaped pothole. Yes, he is the biggest variable in this war. The blue-purple current in the earth pit continued to surge, making harsh sounds. Yake jumped up and jumped onto Ozzy's head. Yake put on a white robe for the first time, and what he pursued was the feeling of letting the wind blow on the robe. That's God Ark. Why is he here? Mole Vice Admiral stared closely at the figure above Ozzy's head. Sengoku was silent. Suru seemed to have expected this. From now on, I will take over this war. Yake stretched his waist, squinted his eyes, and looked very lazy, but he spoke surprisingly. Gu la la la, Dale kid, if you are here to help me, then don't get in Lousy's way. If you are here to take my head, I will wait for you here. Whitebeard was very impressed with Yake profound. The picture of challenging myself 2 years ago seems to have happened yesterday. Evil must be eradicated. The dog devours the red lotus. As soon as Akainu saw that it was Yake who launched the attack without hesitation, Akainu was the hardest worker in Summit War. Just in time, Yake stretched out his right hand to release the magnetic force to attract a 2-meter-long mace and held it in his hand. Thunder 8 trigrams. The mace wrapped in purple thunder and the powerful Conqueror's hockey made a sharp wind whistling. A stick hit Akainu who came to the door. Peef tilde ah ah. Akainu spat out blood like a salted fish that had lost its dream and flew backwards, deeply embedded in the wall of Marineford. It turned out to be Kaido's unique skill. Give Akainu Admiral too. This is impossible. Why is Akainu Admiral so vulnerable? The Marine officer rubbed his eyes in disbelief, as if he felt like he was dreaming. When the pirates saw Akainu being beaten into the air, their morale increased immediately, and they hacked several Marines to death with howls. You did a good job, Da Thunderkid. What is your purpose here, Yake? Sengoku questioned Yake. This battle should have nothing to do with him. Yake casually threw the shattered mace aside, took out a phone bug from inside his robe, and put it to his mouth. Arc Pirates, attack. 98. The Arc Pirates. Yake's voice was not loud, but everyone present could hear it clearly. That guy. Isn't there only one former Shichibukai Hancock in the Arc Pirates who can fight? That's right, I've seen their reward orders, except for Captain Yake. The average reward is less than 200 million. None of the pirate marines present felt that the joining of the Arc Pirates would not bring any big changes to the battle situation. Except for Yak, his crew strength seems to be not very good, and there is even a 500 Bailey Catwoman. The whole army is on alert, and we must not be careless to any enemy. Sengoku reminded that since the last time he challenged Shanks, Yake's information has been updated. He has at least recruited a few more powerful crew members and snatched the lion fruit from the Golden Emperor. Compared with his pirate group, it must be different from what it was 2 years ago. After Yake issued the attack command, everyone was waiting for the Arc Pirates to enter the field. After a while, some small stones began to fall from the sky, and then a huge building fell from the sky. So, isn't that the big front door of Impel Down? Why is it there? How could Marine, who often goes to Impel Down to escort prisoners, not recognize this building? It's so familiar. Get out of the way, you idiot, it's about to fall. Bellamibo pulled Kebi and ran away. Garp, who was standing on the execution platform, stood up slowly. He could no longer just sit idly by, he was the best at dealing with such things. Saw tilde. Garp jumped up and hammered the building debris with his black and hard iron fist. The huge front door of Impel Down was smashed into pieces with a punch. Basically there was no big threat. It's Marine hero Garp, he's shot. As expected of a Marine hero, too strong. The little fans of Marine started to brag about Garp, falling into self-movement and unable to extricate themselves. Look. There's something in the sky, it's a ship. It's God Ark's Eternal Truth. A steel mechanical ship faster than a Marine warship. Anna controls the Eternal Truth to fly in the air. At her strong request, she is the first to appear on the stage. No matter what, she must let Marine know how serious the consequences of setting a bounty of 500 Baileys for her will be. Last time she went to Sky God Kingdom to buy a fish, she spent 5,000 Baileys. How could such a cute and beautiful kitten be worth less than a fish? Anna was furious, especially after getting the lion fruit. Anna floated into the mid-air of the battlefield from the Eternal Truth, and looked at Sengoku with a resentful face. In her opinion, this old man gave her 500 Baileys. She must teach him a lesson this time. Oh my god, isn't that? That's the one with a bounty of 500 Baileys. Anna who loves fish. You are only 500 Baileys, and your whole family is 500 Baileys. Anna is going to be angry meow. Anna was furious, and stared angrily at the pirate who said this. With a cold snort, start practicing. Heh heh heh. Taste Anna's awesome meow. Super powerful white meow cute shock. Anna said delicately, the name sounds harmless, but the ice surface has softened into plasticine. Under Anna's control, it kept wriggling and turned into a big ice blue cat, truly indiscriminate attack, regardless of whether he was a member of Marine or Whitebeard. Those with weak strength were all involved in the ice cat and rushed towards the execution platform together. Oh, meow tilde Yake covered his face, and made a mistake. He clearly told her that this trick was Lion Majesty. Govern place Earth Coiling, but she wanted to name it herself. Look at what it is called. Wait, I'm still on the scaffold, Anna. Ha 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 ha. Anna is a very strong meow. No way. Yake had to flash to Whitebeard's side, where he stood more conspicuously. Did she eat Golden Lion's lion fruit? she is a scary little girl. Although she is still a little behind Golden Lion, her control ability is very good. Kong sighed. He is also a contemporary figure of Golden Lion. How could that be? I don't know about Golden Lion's abilities, but he's here today, so he still has to contribute. Advertisement. Kong break. Kong's muscles were thick, his arms were thicker than Anna's, and they were all bigger than Anna's head. He punched the top of the ice cat's head, smashing the ice cat into ice crystals. Anna's smug smile stopped abruptly. She didn't expect this old man to break her super powerful white cat in one fell swoop. It was only with all her strength that she could release it, and it was broken by. Just like that. Damn old man, you wait for me. Ha. Anna's task is to be the first to come out and use a unique skill to change the terrain and then retreat. She has run out of energy, so she made a face at Kong and slipped onto the eternal truth. Anna changed the terrain of the battlefield once again, making the ice surface a little flat, and some places were still bumpy, but it was much better than before, and she could already run horses. Little Thunder, is the fruit of the Golden Lion given to that little girl? Whitebeard lowered his head and asked. That's right, don't you think it's a good match? Golden Lion, White Cat, ha 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 tilde. Yake grinned, very satisfied with Anna's performance. This time her bounty will not only be doubled, right? Sorry, it seems to contain a civet cat. Gu la la la, it's really interesting, aren't you here to take my head, boy? Whitebeard, do you really want to die? Yake frowned and said, Blackbeard has already been killed by him, is it necessary for Whitebeard? Our time has passed, boy, now is your time. Whitebeard took a deep look at Yake. He came here today, and he already has the determination to die in battle. Instead of dying painfully in the disease, it would be better to die vigorously in the battle, whether it is Marine or Yak, it doesn't matter. I see. After Anna returned to the Eternal Truth, the other crew members looked at each other and jumped off the Eternal Truth at the same time. Dazzling 100 Blossoms phantom wings. When Robin descended from the air to the ground, he grew countless arms and turned into a pair of flesh-colored wings, slowly descending to the ground, as if an angel descended. Reiju is not so flashy, it is the darkness that descends directly, a cloud of black gas lands on the ground, and the black mist dissipates, revealing its true face. Perona's real body was still in the air, and the huge spiritual body directly stepped on the ground, and then slowly shrunk, transforming from a giant form into a normal person. A small stone fell on the ice and disappeared in an instant. Luo had brought Babo to the battlefield. Carrying his fate on his shoulders, Fan Oka slowly landed on the ground with his wind spray boots and adjusted his monocle. Fujitora was even fiercer, jumping directly onto the ice, holding the handle of the knife with his backhand like a tiger. Crocodile, who just joined, turned into wind and sand, rolled up ice chips, and the wind and sand disappeared, and the younger brothers Dazbonus and Jinbei appeared on both sides. Except for Hancock, who needs to guard the kingdom of God in the sky and cannot get out, all the other members of the Ark Pirates have arrived and stood around the Moby D*K. Yake appeared in front of them in the form of electric particles. An invisible sense of oppression shrouded everyone's hearts, and what could be clearly felt was the powerful coercion emanating from Fujitora and Yake, which belonged to the strong. Fang Fang. When did the Ark Pirates have so many people? Haishu Jinbei and Sir Crocodile. This. 2 former 7 warlords of the sea have joined the Ark Pirates. Marine is most familiar with there are 2 members of the 7 warlords of the sea, and if Hancock comes, there are 3 members of the 7 warlords of the sea, exactly the same as Marines. Fur. That little brat Luo even joined the Ark Pirates, no wonder there's been no news about him recently. Doflamingo saw Djafalo crying with a ghost in his arms at a glance, and his flexible little tongue mischievously shaking around his mouth. Doflamingo. Luo stared at Doflamingo intently, wishing to dig out his waist on the spot, but the captain hadn't spoken yet, so he could only endure and wait for the captain's order. Gu la la la, Dale kid, it seems that you have found a group of amazing companions. Whitebeard glanced at Lao Sha, and Fujitora in purple robes. Whitebeard, who has lived for most of his life, has such vicious eyes, especially Fujitora, is definitely a hidden powerhouse. It's not wrong, the 5th Emperor of the God of Sky Kingdom, and all the crew members, are they all going to participate in this battle? Although there are not many people, each of them does not look like a simple guy. The reporters in Sabodi said nervously, the situation of this battle is getting more and more complicated, does Marine really have a chance of winning? Dispatch the Marine Science Unit, CP Chiefs, do you still want to watch the show? Sengoku said lightly, he was already mentally prepared for Yake's arrival. The shapes and faces of the 3 executioners on the execution platform began to squirm, and they became another person directly. They took off the green execution suits, revealing the white suits inside, and put on a strange mask. 6 Styles Life returns. They are the 3 heads of the CP organization. They usually live in Marijoy and secretly protect the safety of the celestial dragons. They will never be dispatched unless there are special circumstances. Advertisement, Chief of CP Intelligence, White Phantom. CP assassinated the Chief Bloodwolf, CP Security Chief Schwangi. 3 chiefs with equal positions but different functions also joined the battlefield. Their rank is the same as Sengoku, but they are close ministers of celestial dragons and have a higher status. Ha 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 ha, sure enough, those bastards of the 5 elders will not let go of those who killed their master. Well, let's fight on our own. Luo, do what you can, I will let Fan Oka cover you. Yake told Luo specifically that the enemy was extremely jealous when they met. He would definitely not wait to kill Doflamingo, but Yi Luo's current strength is still a little bit behind. Doflamingo will die, but Yake will never do it himself. Yake pointed his right hand at Sengoku on the execution platform, launching the attack horn, and all the members of the arc rushed out. All kinds of special effects were very eye-catching, and the funds exploded. Mr. Fujitora, give them a welcome gift. The old man is making a fool of himself. Fujitora leaned down and held the hilt of the sword. Purple circles of light flew into the sky, and most people's eyes turned to the ordinary blind swordsman next to Yake. Looking at the sky, a huge flaming meteor passed through the thick dark clouds, and it was about to hit the battlefield. Did you actually pull down the meteorite from outer space? What kind of power is this? Sengoku muttered to himself. CP Security Chief Schwangi directly used Moonwalk to quickly fly into the air with his hands crossed. Shield of the Black Turtle. An illusory green turtle shell appeared in the sky, intercepting the impact of the meteorite, but the illusory turtle shell was also a little cracked, as if it was about to shatter. The head of the black tortoise gritted his teeth, and pushed the meteorite fragments in the direction of Yake with the almost broken tortoise shell. How can you hurt the old man's captain? Gravity Knife Tiger. Fujitora held the knife behind his back, and a strong wind pressure turned all the meteorite fragments into powder, but this is not over yet. This invisible force is directly directed at the black turtle. Damn it, the black turtle body protector. The security chief's body was green and glowing, and he was protected by a phantom turtle in his body, but he was still directly hit by Fujitora's move and crashed into the wall. After a while, the little green man, the black turtle, came out of the wall, and his body turned into a human and animal state, with a turtle shell, rough skin and scales. As expected of the chief security officer, it belongs to the turtle. Yake guessed that his ability is definitely the zone phantom beast species. Judging from his name, he should be in the form of a black turtle. The CP organization with the same reputation as Marine will never be that simple. A strong man with a sword? Is it a samurai from Wano Kuni? Hawkeye immediately noticed the sword in Fujitora's hand. He felt a little itchy when he met a strong man with a sword. This kind of opportunity is very rare, and Wa Swordbeasta, fight with that one first. Hawkeye is a bit tangled, but it seems that Fujitora is stronger, so he took a fancy to Fujitora. Nico Robin. Aokiji looked at Robin's black arm that was killing all directions on the ice. Obviously she had mastered the skill of arming color. She became stronger. Did she also change because of that man? Aokiji decides to take on Robin himself, as there is still a feud between him and her that needs to be resolved. Dazzling 100 flowers, myriad purples and reds, sea of flowers. Robin crossed his hands, countless petals fell, and countless arms grew out of the ice. He grabbed Marine's feet and controlled their movements. Once caught, arms would grow on their bodies, twisting the target, or even breaking it. Frozen time capsule. Aokiji released a shockwave of cold air from a long distance to freeze Robin quickly, and everything he passed would be frozen. Robin saw that Aokiji's eyes were fixed, and all his arms dissipated into petals. Dazzling 100 blossoms flower shield. Countless arms were intertwined and woven, and a black cocoon protected Robin layer by layer, blocking the icy cold. Nico Robin, will your walking ticking time bomb also live under people? Or are you ready to betray the god at any time? Aokiji breathed out a breath of cold air, and countless ice spears appeared beside him, attacking the black cocoon non-stop. 99. Respective opponents 18 years ago, it was Aokiji who first met Robin. He used Frozen Hour to capture his friend in Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Jaguar D. Saul, who was in the way of the mission, but let O'Hara's only survivor Nico Robin go. At that time, he warned Robin to be happy for saving his life, and he should live a low-key life in the future. He emphasized that he was not her companion, but an enemy, and if there was any mistake, he would be the first to arrest her. After that, he has been paying attention to Robin's movements, until he joined the Ark Pirates who killed Celestial Dragon's Mad Yake, and his news about her was not very clear. Dazzling 100 blossoms. Robin can only try his best to resist Aokiji's wave after wave of attacks, and he can only defend passively. If he wants to break the game, he must fight back. Colossal colors, huge trees, clapping palms. After perceiving Aokiji's position with the color of knowledge, Robin launched an attack without hesitation, breaking up Aokiji. If this kind of huge attack is to cover armament hockey, it would consume too much energy. Robin couldn't bear it, so he had to interrupt it first. Aokiji's attack. You have become stronger and more courageous. What makes you think you can deal with a Marine Admiral? Aokiji was unharmed. Robin with armament hockey did have the capital to hurt him, but it was impossible to beat him. All their battles were watched by Yake, but he did not intervene in the battle between Robin and Aokiji. This is the past between them. Unless Aokiji really wants to kill Robin, Yake will never intervene of. It has not yet entered the final stage. Neither Whitebeard nor Yake has done anything, and the same is true for Sengoku, waiting for the change of the battle situation. Luo approached Doflamingo without hesitation. Doflamingo, I'm here to kill you. I must avenge Corazon. Advertisement Luo looked ferocious, and used various fighting techniques that Yake told him to maneuver with Doflamingo. Furoferfer, Corazon? You're just a family traitor, trying to kill me? You're too young. Doflamingo dodged Luo's attack like a leisurely walk, and taunted Luo by the way, affecting his mentality. If his mentality is out of balance, he can play with him in the palm of his hand, which is interesting. 10 times the electromagnetic bomb. Fan Oka stayed in a safe place to attack Marine's turret, and Marine was lying on the ground beside him. After clearing the turret, he could find a place to mount a sniper safely. That's the ability of World Destroyer Brindiwaldo. How could it be on him? Could it be that Yake has mastered the power transferred by Devil Fruit? Sengoku looked at the Marines who fell suddenly one by one. There was either a big hole missing in the body or it lost half of its head, all thanks to Fan Oka from far away. The gun, which is obviously not too big, fired bullets like cannonballs, and the speed was so fast that Marine Vice Admiral could barely resist it. They broke into impelled down and escaped a few prisoners on the 6th floor. Except for Crocodile and Jinbei who followed Yake, the frozen Waldo disappeared, and Xuanyue Hunter, the Phantom Beast ability user, must have all it has something to do with Yake. Crane and Sengoku analyzed the information, and they have already deduced that they are almost inseparable. Momo Railgun. Fanaoka found that Luo had fallen into a disadvantage, with more than a dozen scars on his body, and was about to be cut by the transparent silk thread again. Fanaoka launched the strongest attack on Doflamingo. It's really weak, Luo. Won't following the 5th Emperor on the sea make you progress? Doflamingo became more and more disdainful, and had already grasped Luo's flaws continuously, and Luo retreated steadily in front of him. What? Tilda. Doflamingo sensed that a bullet had been shot at him, which made him feel a strong sense of crisis, and rushed to the side in embarrassment, but was still shot in the waist by the electromagnetic gun, and a huge hole of blood and blood. Doflamingo rolled on the ground in pain, activated his ability to control his hair-thin thread with his fingers to sew up his wound. The blood hole was quickly filled with the thread, and Doflamingo's condition looked much better. Damn sniper, excess whip string. A long whip made of silk thread was drawn towards Fanaoka. Momo. 30x speed. Fanaoka moved to a farther place in an instant, and the excess whip string was far behind, but Doflamingo was still within Fanaoka's range. A dozen electromagnetic bullets accurately blocked Doflamingo's path, and Doflamingo had to use countless silk threads to form a shield to block these deadly bullets. Beppo took the opportunity to escape with the scarred Luo. Advertisement. Are you still not giving up, Robin? You are no match for me at all. Aokiji had been fighting Robin for a while, and although Robin was not injured, it took a lot of physical strength to block Aokiji's attack, and Robin was out of breath. Aokiji, you don't understand what kind of person Yake is. He is the person I like. Even if he dies, I will stay with him forever. The exhaustion of the body hits me. If I launch a large-scale attack, I can't add the weapon color. If I grow arms on Aokiji, I will be icicled by him again. Aokiji is really a difficult opponent. Aokiji fell silent after listening to Robin's words. Unexpectedly, Robin, who was wandering around without a fixed place, not only found his own destination, but also found a man he liked. He was very happy that Robin finally found a real shelter. Do you dare to be distracted from the battle? 30 rounds of Flower's Hook Claw? Robin saw that Aokiji was in a daze, and launched an attack without hesitation. 2 black arms fixed Aokiji's shoulders, and the other 2 were ready to go. Twist off Aokiji's head. Oh Tilda, isn't this the devil's son, Nico Robin? The world government is calling for her head? Aokiji Admiral, do you need my help? Robin, fingers condensed with dazzling golden light. Robin quickly let go of Aokiji and turned to attack Kizaru. Kizaru, get lost. Okay Tilda. Kizaru pouted, patted his asterisk and left. I hope your choice is right. Live on, Robin. Aokiji tidied up his somewhat messy suit, and left on his own, leaving behind a shocked Robin. Here, Hawkeye has drawn out the black sword Yi, and slashed at Fujidora with a fierce slash. Fujidora shook his head helplessly. Ever since he showed his hand just now, the swordsman's fighting spirit has been locked on him, and now he can't bear it anymore, living. Gravity Knife Hell Brigade. Hawkeye's sword energy was directly suppressed by Fujidora, and it hit the ice surface. A huge deep pit appeared on the ice surface. The seawater was constantly rising, and the deep pit was soon filled. 100. Sengoku's guess Hawkeye saw that he was indeed a master, followed by a brilliant knife light. Fujidora's stick sword and the eagle-eyed black knife Yi were in a stalemate in midair, and the black-purple stick sword rubbed against the pure black sword Yoro to create fierce sparks. Could it be that your excellency is the world's #1 swordsman, Dracula Mohawk? It seems that this old man has met his opponent. Although this old man is not a pure swordsman, he should not be underestimated. Fujidora said so. The purple light of the stick sword was more intense, and Hawkeye felt that his body became extremely heavy, but with his strong physical fitness, he still stood upright on the ice. Good swordsmanship. I won't kill the unknown. What's your name? Old man. Fujidora smiles. Then the two started a fierce confrontation. It was also the first time for Yake to witness Hawkeye. Fujidora had to deal with it with all his strength, otherwise he would die in the sea if he was not careful. Old Shaw. You want to kill Whitebeard? Got it. Yake saw Lao Shaw flying in front of him, looking straight at Whitebeard, and Yake understood. Crocodile became 7 warlords of the sea when he was 20 years old. It can be said that he was in the limelight, his confidence and arrogance were at the top, but he was defeated by Whitebeard, so he began to plan Alabasta, and was ready to kill him with a cannonball after getting Pluton. Whitebeard, but was defeated by Straw Hat Luffy because of his arrogance. It's you, the kid who plays with sand, you really don't have a long memory. Whitebeard recognized Crocodile, and once wanted him to be his son, but was rejected by Lao Shaw. Long time no see, Whitebeard, go to hell, Desert Vajra Saber. Whitebeard blocked Crocodile's attack with one hand, and the white halo knocked Crocodile away. Although Whitebeard's strength is not as good as before, Crocodile still doesn't have the strength to kill her, at most it is 50-50. No, Lao Shaw, who had just been beaten into the air, copied the sand to get Whitebeard's head. Advertisement, Father, Lord Crocodile, what are you doing? Jinbei didn't expect that Crocodile would also make a move. He controlled the water to fly 2 marines and hurried to block Crocodile. Along with him was Marco, who loved his father eagerly. This is a battle between the two of them, so don't get involved. Yake stopped them both, and while Whitebeard owes Jinbei a favor, it's not a good thing to meddle in someone else's battle. That's right, lousy is Whitebeard. Marco, go rescue Ace first. Yes, father. After receiving Whitebeard's order, Marco waved his wings and attacked the square, and the other captains who also wanted to come over also put their minds to rest and went to save Ace. Yake stopped the two and continued to stand where he was, as if this war had nothing to do with him. It wasn't that Yake didn't want to make a move, but it wasn't time yet. Luffy has already led the rescue team into the square, not far from the execution platform. Tilda, aren't you the eldest daughter of Germa Kingdom? How did you become a pirate? It's really scary. Kizaru chose to fight Reiju twice. I heard that her father, Judge, used to be a colleague of Vegapunk. It seems that Gia Irma has fallen into the hands of the Ark Pirates. Germa, HMPH tilde now there's only the Ark Pirates, just in time, let me show you my new power. Although Reiju was indifferent to the wretched uncle in front of him, Admiral was indeed a rare opponent. Just to try out the new abilities I developed. Oh tilde new ability? It's scary. Kizaru saw that the black mist had enveloped Reiju's body. Starting from Reiju's feet, the ground was engulfed in darkness. No matter it was a marine or a pirate, as long as they stepped on the black ground on the ground, the feet will be restrained and slowly sink to the ground. Embrace the darkness. Advertisement. As soon as Reiju finished speaking, the darkness spread rapidly, and half of the battlefield was shrouded in darkness. The corpses, scattered weapons, and living people were all swallowed by the dark water and entered Reiju's dark space. Isn't this ability Blackbeard's? Why is it in your hands? The most vicious Logia dark fruit? It's just too scary. Kizaru said it was terrible, but his body was hanging high, and he stood in the dark water to take a bath without saying anything, and his hands were condensed with a yellow light that could drive away the darkness. 8 feet poor hook jade. Countless light bullets passed through Reiju's body, but did not cause any damage. Reiju's body is the purest darkness, and the flash cannot restrain the darkness. To attack her entity, you must use armament hockey. That's strange. The information says that Blackbeard's ability cannot be elementalized, so it's just a similar ability. Kizaru was a little confused. Even if he scratched his head, he couldn't figure it out. Reiju's dark fruit is an enhanced version of. It's useless. Let's try this trick. Release the darkness. All the objects and people that were just swallowed by Reiju were thrown out in one go. The wreckage of ships, weapons, and people flew all over the sky towards Kizaru. The purple liquid is not a good thing at first glance. It is better to run first. Are you leaving now? Kizaru Admiral, I've just warmed up. Reiju was filled with black mist soaring to the sky, and went to chase Kizaru. Kizaru didn't dare to be careless. The time is too similar. If she can also directly absorb the entity of the ability user, wouldn't he be finished? It is said that it can also incapacitate people with abilities, just like Seastone. Both are characters who can fly into the air at will. They played a chasing battle in the sky above the battlefield. Crit damage. Yake, the Jedi, mastered the method of transferring abilities. Blackbeard must have been killed by him, and then he got his ability and gave it to the Princess of Germa. The same is true for Momo Fruit and Dark Fruit. Is there really a way to steal other people's abilities? Sengoku squinted at Reiju in the sky, lost in thought. Sengoku, give priority to execution of Ace, otherwise the fight will be endless. Kong reminded Sengoku that the situation in the Marine camp is not optimistic. Although the chief of the CP is here to help Marine, the premise is that Ace wants to rescue Ace. Just now Chief Schwangi's action was already at the end of his benevolence, and Blood Wolf and Bai Yuling had been standing on the execution platform without moving. Start now, execute the prisoner Fire Fist Ace. 101. The horn of the general attack. Ace, I'm here to save you. Luffy yelled, almost drowning Sengoku's voice, and Luffy yelled and rushed towards the execution platform. Don't come here, Luffy, you are no match for them. I don't care, I must save you. Blood Wolf, the head of CP, looked at Luffy as a reckless man with some disdain. He has always pursued a one-hit kill, otherwise he would not have become the head of the assassination department. Blood against the flow. The Blood Wolf stretched out 2 fingers and drew in the air, as if something had been reversed. Luffy, who flew into the air, suddenly froze. The blood in his body could not be sent to the brain. Luffy felt that he was being pinched by the throat of fate. His face was purple and black blood began to flow from his eyes, nose, and mouth. Falling weakly to the ground in midair, struggling in pain, Luffy gradually passed out as the Blood Wolf continued to manipulate the blood inside his body. Phoenix Seal. Marco rescued Luffy, and the Blood Wolf had to stop controlling Luffy's blood. With a wave of his hand, the blood of all the wounded Marines and pirates on the battlefield surged violently, condensed into a river of blood and gathered in front of the Blood Wolf, blocking the impact of the Phoenix Seal. Some of the Marines and pirates were not serious, just a little blood was drained, but some unlucky ones had all the blood drained from their bodies abruptly and died on the spot. It's a terrible ability. Save Ace's younger brother first. Marco gritted his teeth, knowing that he could not break through the execution platform alone, and carried away Luffy, who had passed out on the ground. The green inflammation on his body was still healing Luffy's injury. HMPH that kid is still alive. If Marco hadn't come to save him, Luffy would have died. Since the Blood Wolf made a move, the target must die. CP Chief Blood Wolf is gone, manipulating the Bloodblade to harvest the lives of the pirates. If Marine gets in the way, I'm sorry, let's kill them together. Little did he know that Garp had already clenched his fist, and he almost couldn't resist punching the Blood Wolf's head off just now. Then Garp's eyes were fixed on the Blood Wolf, and the blood wolf who was killing all directions felt a chill behind him, as if he had been killed by something. Something stared at it, looked back, but couldn't find anything. Sengoku and Kong were standing there. Garp was picking his nose, nothing happened. The two real executioners stepped onto the scaffold, and they were about to end Ace's life. Advertisement, silly son, I'm here to save you, Whitebeard, it's over. He had hammered Lao Sha just now, and now Lao Sha is extremely upset, unexpectedly lost to Whitebeard again, like a mad dog. He bites anyone he sees, and Lao Sha basically finds people with names and surnames. He can do 2 tricks on anyone. Top 50-50 Sir Crocodile is officially launched. Whitebeard jumped up, jumped to the center of the square several times, and broke through to the execution platform in the blink of an eye. There was no one in Marine who could stop Whitebeard, and everyone fell into a hard fight, especially the members of the Ark Pirates. None of them are good stubble. Perona's spirit body is even more invincible. It can be big or small, negative ghosts can be released like money, and Marine's attack is completely ineffective against him. Except for Brooke and Big Mom, Yake really can't think of anyone who can attack the human soul. Marines who lost their dreams and pirates knelt in this noisy battlefield, which is also a unique landscape. Whitebeard released the tyrannical Conqueror's Haki, stunned the executioners, and Kong Yunki, with a thick white halo, slashed around. The atmosphere seemed to be split, and the marine surrounding Whitebeard was immediately swept away. Meteor Volcano. Akainu finally went online again. Just now, I was hit by Yake, and it took a while to recover. I wanted to see if there was a chance to instigate Squillard, who had a grudge against Roger, to kill Whitebeard. It seems there is no chance, so I can only go up by myself. Today is his martial promotion competition, so there is no room for loss. You brat who set off fireworks, you are so arrogant, let me see what you are capable of. Akainu and Whitebeard started to fight. Aokiji had been liberated from Robin's battle. The two admirals besieged Whitebeard together, and the team captains were rushing to reinforce Whitebeard. The battle was getting tense. Luffy, who rolled his eyes, has regained consciousness under the treatment of the S********** King, and ran to save Ace again. Ivankov took Imazuna to help Luffy save his brother. Going to the scaffold soon, Straw Hat Boy, you just have to go straight ahead. Imazuna's 2 scissor hands cut a long piece of land, opening a path directly to the Ace on the execution platform, and Luffy directly phased the dash. Target the Straw Hat with the cannon and shoot. The Marines below are not easy to eat, so naturally they won't let Luffy get what they want, so they must stop them from rescuing Fire Fist Ace no matter what. Advertisement, stop him. Murloc Karate Tang Kawa Righteous Fist. Jinbei cleared the way for Luffy, and the shockwave knocked out all the Marines that intercepted Luffy. Thank you, Fatty Blue. Luffy didn't know Jinbei very well at this time, and he didn't even know his name. Luffy trotted all the way and rushed directly to Ace on the execution platform. At this time, he only had eyes on the shackles that locked Ace. As soon as Bai Yugui, the head of CP, was about to act, he was stopped by Garp's thick arm. Let the old man come. Garp's expression was complicated at this time. He had already made a decision just now and put justice first. This is the choice he should make as a marine hero, but the appearance of Luffy made him waver, especially just now that the Blood Wolf almost killed him. When Luffy died, if he didn't stop Luffy, it is very likely that today he would lose 2 grandchildren at the same time. Take off the title of marine hero, take off the cloak with the word justice. He is just an ordinary grandfather, and he will be shaken when facing his grandson who is about to be killed, which is human nature. Hero Garp. Garp jumped up and blocked Luffy's way, and the underground marine exclaimed. Grandpa, get out of the way. Luffy still didn't stop. How could I get out of the way? This old man is the vice admiral of the marine headquarters. Long before you were born, this old man has been fighting pirates. If you want to pass here, just step on my dead body. Sengoku looked at what Garp did. Why was he so unwilling to believe that this was something Garp could do? Straw Hat Luffy, this is the path you have chosen. Luffy's pupils shrank, and he looked closely at his grandpa. If his grandpa stopped him sincerely, he would never be able to rescue Ace. The strength of Garp's iron fist has been deeply baked into Luffy's DNA, so Luffy can only ask his grandpa to let him go. Please, grandpa, let me go. 102. The remnants of the old era. The flagstones beneath Garp's feet began to crumble. Sengoku crossed his arms, looked at Garp silently, and didn't speak. There are always many unsatisfactory things in life. I will not show mercy. Luffy, I want you, as an enemy. Garp seemed to have murderous intentions, and swung his black iron fist towards Luffy's head. Not surprisingly, Luffy would be hammered to death by this punch. Sengoku's eyes flashed, he had already seen through everything. Luffy kicked into second gear and punched Garp with an unflinching punch. Oh, peefed tilde. Garp vomited blood after being punched by Luffy, and flew directly to the bottom of the cobblestone road. During the fall, Garp thought a lot, but finally let his body fall and lay motionless on the ground. You're there, Grandpa, after all, Garp. The stone pavement began to crack, and Luffy ran towards Ace on the falling debris, and finally came to Ace. Finally here, Luffy. You be *******************. D. Don't treat us like air, Straw Hat Boy. Sengoku directly incarnates as the Golden Light Buddha. Kong's clothes exploded in an instant, revealing a body like steel and iron. The shadow under the feet of CP Chief Changbai Ghost began to flow, and he got the shadow fruit of Moria's rebirth after death. You two brothers, let me execute the sentence. Luffy. Straw Hat Boy. Ace. Everyone's eyes were attracted by the strangeness of the execution platform. Yake grinned, and it was finally his turn to play. His whole body turned into electric particles and dissipated in the air. Conqueror's profound truth dragon fist. Yake appeared on the execution platform in an instant, facing Sengoku's huge golden fist, and did not lose the wind at all. Two lightning dragons split from his body, entangled Kong and Bai Ghost respectively, and the execution platform had cracked. Ace and Luffy brushed down. The falling Luffy stretched out his arms to release Ace's shackles. The moment Ace was released from Seastone's handcuffs, hot flames erupted instantly, and Ace took Luffy away from the execution platform. Advertisement. Seeing that Ace was rescued, members of the Whitebeard Pirates couldn't stop cheering. There is a day when I will be rescued by you. I really never dreamed of it. Thank you, Luffy. Hey Tilda, thanks to Yake and the others for their help. Luffy sincerely thanked Jacques. Without him, he would never have broken through Martial Marine's block so easily. Don't think you'll be saved if you escape. The Marines aimed their guns at Luffy and Ace. This is your execution ground. The guns fired, and the bullets shot at Ace and Luffy, but with their strength, how could they be injured by mere bullets? Fire punch. Rubber jet stamp. Whitebeard, who was playing back and forth with Akainu, was naturally relieved to see that Ace was rescued. Ace has been rescued, our goal has been achieved, we have nothing to do here, Whitebeard Pirates obey orders. Now the final captain's order is issued, everyone must survive and return to New World safely. Father, are you going to die here? Kinbudo, the captain of the 11th team, shouted in disbelief. I am a remnant of the old era, and there is no boat that can carry me in the new era. Whitebeard held his right hand high and raised it behind his shoulder, and white slits like spider webs appeared in the atmosphere. Let's go, little ones. The entire Marineford trembled in the earthquake, the houses were broken and collapsed, and a strong vibration affected the entire battlefield. Countless Marine soldiers were blown away, and Yake had to fly into the air. Whitebeard finished all this and looked in Ace's direction. Don't look back, times are changing. It's been a long journey. Let's make a break. Whitebeard's voice echoed across the battlefield, and all the Marines and Whitebeard's sons fell silent. Yake stood in midair, his voice was so low that almost no one heard it. This time, called Whitebeard. Father, I won't leave, I want to cover you to leave. Marco was raised by Whitebeard since he was a child, and he has the deepest affection for Whitebeard, just like his own father and son. Advertisement. Let's go. Marco, leave without looking back, don't you even listen to me? Whitebeard didn't want anyone from the Whitebeard Pirates to stay here. Marco burst into tears, gritted his teeth and caught up with the large army. Sengoku watched Ace run away, all because of Yake's intervention. This time, Marine failed, but no matter what, Yake can't let Yake leave like this. Yake, the old man must kill you on the spot. Who can say big words? You can't even kill Kaido, let alone me? Yake resisted Sengoku's impact with his right fist, and Tensa Zagetsu in his left hand pierced Sengoku's fist straight. Tilda. Sengoku withdrew his fist in pain, which was Yake's purpose. You three, go up together. Yake drew a sword and pointed at Sengoku, as well as Kong and the White Ghost not far away. The three of them glanced at each other, and quickly agreed that they didn't need to talk about benevolence, justice and morality with the pirates, and everyone stood shoulder to shoulder. Buddha shock. Kong dark wrist, shadow horn spear slay. Yake's attention has never been so focused. Although each of them is not as strong as Yake, they are not too bad. They are not a loose alliance like Big Mom and Kaido. Yake kept blinking and moving, avoiding their attacks, striving for the least damage and the most output. Thunder Susanoo. Sengoku is too big, Yake has to drive Gundam. A thunder giant appears behind Yake, no less than the huge Sengoku. The giant holds the Thunderblade, and fights with Sengoku as if it has self-awareness. What a difficult ability. Kong is not young anymore. Yake easily dodged several consecutive attacks, and was shocked several times, and he was already panting a bit. The situation of Bai Yuling is much better. Although his strength is a bit worse than that of the assassin department, he is more flexible. The power of the shadow fruit in his hands is not comparable to that of Moria. He has no way to deal with Yake. Yake's attacks were all blocked by his shadow. Little Thunder, let's drive away these annoying Marines together, and then, let's make a break between us. HMPH tilde just what I want. Whitebeard joined Yake's battle, and the Black Turtle and the Blood Wolf rushed back to the battlefield immediately after seeing this, and the situation was not optimistic. Whitebeard and Yark are two Sea Emperors. The opponents are Marine Marshal Sengoku, Army Commander Kong, and the three chiefs of CP. Yake felt his blood start to boil. This was also the most exciting battle he had encountered since his debut. The Leiyao dragon pattern on his body bloomed with this dazzling blue light, thunder and lightning surged, and Yake became excited. Whitebeard is in good condition, and the injuries on his body are not serious. Marine Admiral is scattered by the crew of the Ark, and has no energy to attack Whitebeard. It is very troublesome to deal with Reiju and Fujidora. 103. Give Lousy a good life. Ha 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 ha, I'm getting bored. Yake was so proud that he put away Tensa Zangetsu directly and just did it with his fist. Empty shock jade fragment. The battle between the 7 top powerhouses can be described as heaven and earth shattered. A single blow can shatter the earth, and Yake is getting more and more excited. He throws Kong aside with an over-the-shoulder fall, and escapes the sneak attack of the White Ghost by the way. Come out. Ultralisk. The thunderclouds that had been entrenched in the sky for a long time finally dropped thunder and lightning. Yake was bathed in the thunderlight. After the thunderlight dimmed, hundreds of ferocious beasts of various shapes appeared on the battlefield. These are all thunder elemental creatures made by Yake, unless the thunder and lightning are exhausted, otherwise they will attack endlessly, and even if they are scattered, they will be reborn soon. This is Yake's Devil Fruit Awakening strategy. In the past, when encountering a single enemy, just summon a thunder dragon. Now there are a lot of people, so Yake will play crowd tactics. Blue ferocious beasts covered in high-voltage lightning scattered out, and a dozen of them entangled an enemy for a team. Ordinary marines had no power to fight back, and died under the bite of the thunder beasts. At the same time, many Ultralisks went to support the members of the Ark and relieve their pressure. Blood flowed like a river. The Blood Wolf saw the wound on Whitebeard's body and began to guide the blood to flow out. This ability was too outrageous, and Whitebeard could only watch helplessly as the blood in his body was continuously pumped away. If the Blood Wolf wants to drain the blood, it must have a wound. There is no way for Yake. The wound healed as soon as he was about to draw blood, so he could only stare blankly. Tarsus Maggot's lightning creature kept disturbing him, so he had to turn his head to get Whitebeard. Ha ha ha, your ability is good, I like it very much. Yake's eyes lit up. It is really a good ability, this person must die. Yake had a thought, and most of the Thunder Beasts turned to attack the Blood Wolves. Even if he ran into the air, he would be attacked by the Thunderbirds, so he had to stop attacking Whitebeard and deal with these annoying Thunder Beasts instead. Damn it, why are there so many of them? The Blood Wolf's mentality was a little bit broken. These Thunder Beasts hit and immune to death, and they stalked you when they didn't hit. How can you be distracted from the battle? You son of celestial dragons. Yake quietly appeared behind the Blood Wolf and gave him a righteous backstab. Yake retreated as soon as he hit his hand, slowly wearing down his physical strength. Compared with the Blood Wolf, Yake was more like an assassin. Advertisement: the battle became more and more fierce. Whitebeard's shock fruit was too aggressive. Sengoku and Kong suffered consecutive defeats and suffered serious internal injuries. The CP security chief Zhongui relied on his strong defense and confidently resisted Whitebeard's attack. Kong Yunki was directly beaten into an idiot by Whitebeard with a white halo, the turtle shell on his body was shattered, and he was barely able to breathe. Seeing that the battle was almost coming to an end, Yake gave a loud shout. Thunderburst. All the Thunder Beasts turned red all of a sudden, and the thunder in their bodies became more and more violent. They threw themselves on the enemy and blew themselves up. There were dense explosions on the battlefield. There are the most Ultralisks entangled with Sengoku and others. Although one Ultralisk self-detonation can't help them, but 10? What about 100? Armed Iron Body. The black turtle with the strongest defense has already knelt down, and they can only use Marine's strongest defensive skills to resist wave after wave of explosion impact. There were fewer and fewer Thunder Beasts on the field, and the sound of explosions gradually subsided. The vicinity of the execution platform was already devastated. Sengoku crouched on the ground panting. Although he blocked Yake's Thunder Beast from self-destructing, it consumed a lot of energy. Kong's situation was not much better, he was 100 years old. For many years, it is a miracle to be able to block such a violent explosive attack. Phew, it seems that we still underestimated Yake's power, Sengoku said pantingly. The relatively young CP chiefs were in better condition than Sengoku and the others, after all, they had plenty of physical strength. Whitebeard saw the right moment and slashed across. Sengoku and the others spit out blood and were blown away. Whitebeard, do you still have the strength? Otherwise, it would be too boring. Yake teased without taking a breath. Whitebeard didn't seem to be in good condition, his face was pale. Now Whitebeard is already sick and terminally ill. Gu la la la, kid, it's not so easy to kill Lousy. Whitebeard spun Kong Yunch a few times and thrust it heavily into the ground. On the other side of the battlefield, Ace and Luffy were trying their best to escape. Akainu chased after them, knocked down a group of pirates covering Ace, and said mockingly, "Retreat as soon as you rescue Ace." The Whitebeard pirates really gathered a bunch of cowards. What? Advertisement? Don't fall for his obvious aggressive method. If you stop now, you will be in his favor. Jin Gudo reminded all his companions, also to remind Ace not to be impulsive. But the captain also has that kind of virtue, so there's nothing I can do about it. After all, Whitebeard is just a loser from the last era. Akainu tidied up his appearance and said disdainfully, but the effect was obvious, and Ace stopped running away. Loser. Take back what you just said. Ace's heart ignited raging anger, and the flames on his body burned. The companions beside him quickly grabbed Ace and advised him to run away quickly. Take it back. I won't take it back, I'm right. Your father, Gold D. Roger, ruled the Grand Line, and used his life to open the door to a new era called the Age of Great Pirates. It's not appropriate for me as a Marine, but he is indeed worthy of the title of Pirate King. Compared with him, what about Whitebeard? Does he have the courage to fight Roger to the death? Hide in a safe place. Let a large group of people to become the king of the mountain, so you will be satisfied. Akainu paused, and his tone became more and more disdainful. Although there are still many idiots in the world who use the name of Whitebeard to protect the peace of many islands, in my opinion, they just subdue some insignificant pirates and then act as heroes. It's really laughable. Roger is still alive, he bowed down behind him all the time, and he still can't become a veritable king at that time. That is to say, he will never be able to compare with Roger, and he will always be a loser. This is Whitebeard. What did I say wrong? Akainu's mocking words kept falling into Ace's ears, and Ace walked towards Akainu step by step with a dark face, as if he was going to the execution ground. Yake kid, Whitebeard looked at the situation in the distance, then looked at Yake again, hesitant to speak. Yake sighed, if nothing can be changed, then what's the point of him coming to the world of One Piece? Live a good life for lousy, idiot. 104. Alternate old and new. Yake appeared in front of Ace in an instant and punched him on the head. Ace. Yake. What are you doing? Ace was dizzy and nearly fainted by Yake's punch. Yake took out a seastone spike from the storage bar and stabbed Ace's shoulder blade, making him lose his ability to resist. Luffy, take your brother and run away, or you will really die. Yake threw the comatose Ace to Luffy. If Ace ran away with peace of mind, no one would need to save him, but Akainu's trash talk directly made Ace lose his mind, and he sent his head directly. If Yake doesn't knock Ace unconscious, this guy will keep running over to die, directly making him lose his ability to resist, and letting others take him away is the best choice. Got it. Thank you, Yake. Let's go first. Luffy suddenly realized, and immediately understood Yake's intentions, picked up Ace and ran away. You are really nosy, Yake. You have to intervene in a war that does not belong to you. Akainu saw that his plan was exposed, and it was even more black. If he executed Ace himself and repelled Whitebeard, the record of the pirates, promoted to Marshal is stable, it is hard to say now. Sorry, I'm a pirate, I can do whatever I want, you don't care. Yake and Akainu have nothing to say, they just have different positions, and there is nothing to ridicule, and they speak based on their strength. Dark Hound. Akainu quickly extended his lava-formed arms to attack Yake. The attack speed was very fast and the power was extraordinary. The surrounding area was filled with the smell of sulfurous rotten eggs, and the air was very hot. Akainu's black fist collided with Akainu's magma fist, and the lava dripped continuously, but it couldn't hurt Akainu at all. The high concentration arm color isolated the magma and avoided direct contact with Akainu's fist. Akainu, don't think you can really beat me. Yake slowly pulled out Tensei-Zangetsu, who was about to teach Akainu a lesson he would never forget. Akainu's lava is very aggressive, but its weakness is that its speed is too slow. Compared with Thunderfruit's speed, Akainu is as slow as a snail. I guess your dominant hand is the right hand. Akainu, are you ready to lose your right hand? Arrogance. Advertisement. The magma on Akainu's body became more and more violent, gurgling and beeping non-stop, and the lava continued to explode. The dog gnaws the red lotus. Yake stood there without moving, and when Akainu was about to touch him, he realized that Yake had dissipated in front of him. Phantom. No, it's an entity. Shua Tilda. A red lava arm was cut off by Yake, and a large piece of lava fell. Akainu covered the wound on his right arm with cold sweat. Even though his right arm was cut off by Yake, he never cried out in pain. So much backbone. It's a marine admiral. Yake stretched out his hand and released lightning, which turned Akainu's severed arm into coke, and Akainu would lose this arm forever. Damn B*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** waved his remaining fists to attack Yake, but he was either blocked by Yake's knife or dodged by Yake. Except that the rolling heat wave made Yake feel uncomfortable, Akainu failed to do anything to Yake. Any harm. I don't have time to play with you, Conqueror's Mystery Dragon Fist. Finding the gap for Akainu's attack, Yake punched Akainu's chest, the sternum was sunken by Yake's punch, and a blood mist flew out backwards. After Whitebeard, it's time to give Whitebeard a ride. You are here, Yake kid, thank you for saving my stupid son's life. Seeing that his sons had successfully retreated, Whitebeard felt relieved of his worries. Seeing that Yake was still blushing and out of breath, he couldn't help but sigh that he was really old. When he was young, he was not like Yake, who had everything he needed. With all the strength, no matter how many times you fall down, you can stand up again. You're welcome. By the way, I've killed Blackbeard. I've also taken away the power he gained from killing Sarge, and it's on her, Yake said, pointing to Reiju who was chasing Kizaru around. Advertisement, teach. It's a pity that I can't personally execute this guy who killed my companions. Come on, let me, the remnants of the old era, fight to the death with you, the god of the new era. Whitebeard felt his physical strength is gradually passing away. Even if Yake is not used, he will die due to the outbreak of the disease. It is better to have a vigorous battle to put an end to his pirate career. Not in a hurry, all members of the Ark come to me. Jacques took out the phone bug and called his companions to gather. The battle between him and Whitebeard absolutely does not allow any marine to intervene. Hearing the voice of the phone bug, Reiju gave up on Kizaru who avoided fighting and turned into a cloud of black mist to come to Yake. Fujitora said sorry after repelling Mihawk and left the fight with Hawkeye. Fanaoka pierced the head of a giant vice admiral with an electromagnetic bomb, activated the fruit ability and rushed to the execution platform quickly. Lao Sha came to the execution platform with Jinbei and Robin. Seeing this, Beibo hurriedly followed them with Luo, who was covered with scars on his back. "R.O., do you still have strength? Help Whitebeard heal." Luo's ability has a strong effect on the old wounds and bruises in Whitebeard's body, but Luo's condition does not seem to be very good. "No problem, I still have some physical strength, room." A circle of light surrounded Whitebeard, and it didn't take long for Luo to separate a large pool of black blood from Whitebeard's body. Whitebeard waited tightly, and when the blood was separated from his body, he felt refreshed like never before, and the wounds that were always painful began to heal quickly, and Whitebeard's breath rose suddenly. "Captain, it can only be cleared temporarily. He is terminally ill. It is not so easy to treat him. I have tried my best." After doing all this, Luo felt weaker. This is the first time he has been a doctor for so long. With someone as sick as Whitebeard, he wouldn't live long unless he separated Whitebeard every day. That's enough, it's enough to decide the outcome between me and her, Yake said confidently. He would not be complacent about defeating Whitebeard while he was dying. On the contrary, it was what he expected to fight against such a Whitebeard. Gu la la la, kid, you are really brave, aren't you afraid of being killed by me? The refreshed Whitebeard laughed. He admired Yake more and more, seeing Yake's confident expression. In a trance, he saw the figure of his former Captain Rox. Ark pirates obey orders, don't let anyone meddle in the battle between me and Whitebeard. Because I'm giving Whitebeard a ride myself. 105, Lord Buggy. As soon as Yake finished speaking, the crew of the Ark pirates dodged around, guarding against all the marines. Little devil, don't be too complacent. Whitebeard drew Kong Yunchu and slashed at Yake. The white halo was particularly eye-catching. Clang! Yake blocked Whitebeard's attack with Tensa Zangetsu, and the strong shock made Yake's body start to ooze blood. Old guy, I won't show mercy, Thunder Susano. Yake forcefully deflected Whitebeard's broadsword, and Kong Yunki slashed directly on the ground, and the strong vibration caused the ground to crack. Yake stepped on the handle of Kong Yunki's knife. The Kenglong dies. A turquoise-blue dragon roared out following Yake's slash, and went straight to Whitebeard's chest. Empty shock. Whitebeard's other hand condensed a white halo and shook the Kenglong away, and the atmosphere was shattered. Yake's thought flashed behind Whitebeard and inserted a knife on Whitebeard's shoulder blade, holding the handle of the knife with both hands and pressing down with all his strength. Whitebeard's back was scratched by Yake with a deep bone deep blood groove, and the blood spilled all over the ground. Tilde brat. Whitebeard put down Kong Yunki and turned around and punched Yake, who flew out directly with blood spitting out of his mouth. Whitebeard's attack power is too strong. Even though Yake's physique is at the top of the sea, he still suffered serious internal injuries, and his internal organs were overwhelmed. Yake stood up and coughed a few times, spitting out a few unknown organ fragments, and suddenly felt better more. The body is also fast self-healing. Advertisement. He really deserves to be the strongest man in the world. With this level of attack, Kaido dare not wave in front of Whitebeard, and so does Yake. Whitebeard. Go to hell. Gangner's spear slash. Dozens of thunder spears appeared in front of Yake, and they stabbed at Whitebeard like a meteor. Whitebeard raised his right hand high and charged a punch in the direction of the thunder spear. The thunder spear was shocked into a fine electric current and dissipated in the air. Thunder God's punishment. Yake is no longer ready to fight Whitebeard in close combat. Shock Fruit's ability makes Whitebeard invincible in melee combat. 360 degrees no dead angle AoE damage. Yake and Whitebeard in close combat will kill 1,000 enemies and damage 800, and less sneak attack. A huge thunderbolt descends from the sky, and washes Whitebeard first. Planetary devastation. Yake created a strong magnetic point on Whitebeard. All the metal products on the battlefield were attracted by Whitebeard, and rushed towards Whitebeard. Whitebeard could break a piece with one punch, but the huge battlefield metal is inexhaustible. Whitebeard gradually, he began to get tired of coping, and metal was constantly inserted into his body. Whitebeard was gradually surrounded by an iron ball. What a terrifying ability, is this what Thunder Fruit can do? Sengoku sat on the ground and asked puzzledly. Ace ran away. Marine had already lost, only 3 admirals were still fighting against the members of Ark, most of them everyone is witnessing this epic battle. I don't know. The previous Thunder Fruit user didn't show this ability, besides, didn't he have 2 devil fruits? Kong spread his hands, expressing that he didn't know anything. Garp was very happy hiding in the corner. His 2 grandsons were fine, and finally he didn't have to worry about it. He watched the battle between Yake and Whitebeard with relish and didn't mean to intervene at all. The output he played in this battle was close to 0, and Kizaru would applaud after seeing it. As expected of a marine hero, he is so strong in paddling. Enough! Whitebeard roared, and all the metal on his body was shattered into pieces, and there were various scars on his body. Lifting Kong Yunki with one foot and holding it in his hand, he slashed at Yake's position with a terrifying knife. Yake blocked Whitebeard's attack with a knife. He could clearly feel that Whitebeard's aura was getting weaker and weaker than before. Shock Fruit is very strong, but it also caused damage to his body while shaking others. With irreversible damage done, Whitebeard's time is running out. Whitebeard, your time is over. Advertisement. Yake forcibly grabbed Kong Yunki's blade and threw the supremely sharp knife aside, but Whitebeard didn't hold onto his weapon tightly. Bang, 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 Jacques punched Whitebeard so hard that Whitebeard barely resisted. Hey, stop, let me take Whitebeard's head. Buggy led a group of younger brothers into the battlefield, and shouted to stop Yake and Whitebeard. I saw Buggy took out the phone bug, and the younger brother behind him polished the light and sprinkled the cement. Lights, okay. Smoke, okay. Mr. Buggy, it's time to start. Hi everyone, I'm the legendary Big Pirate and Clown Buggy, and today I'll be beheading Whitebeard and become the 5 emperors of the new world. Buggy said coquettishly to the camera, afraid that others would not know, although he is very afraid of Yake, but he has no way out, otherwise he will be beaten to death by his little brothers. Yake looked at Buggy angrily and amusedly. This is the first live broadcast of Pirate World, and Buggy may become the biggest winner of Summit War. Goo, aren't you that snotty red-nosed brat with the red head on Roger's boat? Do you want to take my head too? What? B************** D Whitebeard. You dare to call me Red Nose, I will kill you. Buggy jumped up in anger, took out 2 small knives and threatened to stab Whitebeard to death. Buggy, how about we team up, you, Red Hair and me, the 3 of us together have enough power to rule the world. Yake forcibly withdrew his smile, and said seriously, if Buggy can be praised as the 5 emperors, it will definitely it's funny. Yake gave Buggy enough face. What? Yake, the strongest Sea Emperor, wants to join forces with Mr. Buggy. Master Buggy, promise him, so that we can rule the world together. All the treasures in the world are ours. The fans of Buggy are immediately boiling. What kind of card is this? Master Buggy must be a master of concealment, but he just doesn't want to make a move. Don't listen to him, Buggy, join hands with me. Let's kill this kid together. Whitebeard seemed to understand Yake's meaning, and continued following Yake's words. Buggy feels that today is the pinnacle of his life. Although he doesn't know why the old man Whitebeard and Yake are giving him face so much, but when he thinks of becoming the fifth queen himself, he selectively forgets his true strength. Hearing that Whitebeard went to look for Buggy again, Buggy's younger brothers even climaxed on the spot. They almost worshipped Buggy as a god, and clamored for Buggy to join forces with Yake. Whitebeard was obviously dying.